But I'm talking about my own doctor now.
You have to realize these doctors don't have a lot of time to actually keep up with the latest literature and all that.
Yeah, but how about every other virus that's ever been on the planet? Shouldn't they at least refer to that?
Yeah.
Instead of referring to, oh, this one's super new and it's different?
I think what they're referring to, though, is a comparison to the normal flu virus, right? So the reason why you have to get the flu injection every year.
Yeah, because it changes.
Right.
The strains, right.
But this is COVID-19.
But we weren't talking about the strains. When they talk about COVID, they're talking about COVID-19.
Well, I mean, there's going to be other variants, you know, so that
there will be.
Talking about.
That's right, and so then they'll come up with a vaccine for that.
They'll incorporate it in the yearly flu shot.
Yeah, exactly. If you get hit with the exact same variant, Mark, you're fine.
But that's what I'm saying. Why would my own doctor say that's not true? That's what kills me.
Yeah.
But don't they say the vaccination will do more with these other strains?
As they add the other strains into the vaccination.
No. Even though I thought, even with these other strains, the vaccination.
You're talking. It's really, if you're talking about like the Europe and the South African. My understanding is that's the same virus, but it's got a tendency to spread quicker because of something else. But the vaccine still acts on it the same way.
We're up or not up on it?
No. It's not a different strain. And we got to be careful talking about COVID. Well, we're on, just so you know, we're on YouTube Live.
President meets with the president of Mexico outdoors while she's wearing a mask. What kind of signal does that send? Let's talk about it at 2.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We are solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I'm telling you that there is no one better for buying and selling real estate. You know, let's put it this way. The real estate market is crazy. You may think it doesn't matter. It matters. Now that you have a lot of offers, you have to know which one to take so you don't leave money on the table. Frank can cull through those offers. He also one time priced a house for Mark that Mark thought he should get more money for. And Mark says, hold on, why are you not pricing it higher? My neighbors even priced it higher. And we really were puzzled. And, of course, the control freak Mark is. He was questioning. And I said, Mark, no, I didn't say that. I said, Mark and I both said, let's trust Frank. The true story is he did that because it got multiple offers and they started ratcheting up. And he ended up getting way more than he ever thought. So listen, don't ever list too high and then have to mark it down. That is a sign of market weakness. Did you know? Let's say you price it really, really high, right? Okay, you may get it, but a lot of times what happens is it slows the offers, which then causes you some panic, and then you have to drop the price a little, which shows weakness. In this market, you want to show strength. So Frank has this process he goes through, and it works. It really, really works. 303-920-1622. Let's talk about his free market valuations you get free of charge. Just ask. And it's better than Zillow and better than an appraisal because it's based on 26 years' experience. Now, I want to talk to Mac, then we're going to introduce someone we have in the studio. Our first guest back in the studio. Yay! And Suzanne, I understand that as our first guest, they get to buy lunch or something. There was such, I don't know, I forget, there was some tradition. But Mac, what is going on with you, Mac?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
I had a patio done in my house. It was poured on May 10.
So you're saying poured. We're talking a concrete patio, I imagine you're going to talk about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's the problem, man? What's going on with it?
After the next day, when it dried and I started walking it, I started seeing a lot of defects.
Defects? Like what kind of defects, Mac?
It's slump. I mean, if you walk, you seem like you're walking sideways.
Wow. So wait a minute. It's really that uneven? Now, you do know it is supposed to slope a bit from the home. And where is this slope? Is it from the home outward, or is it too much of a slope? Tell me about it.
No, it's actually slope away from the home. It is. I mean, the water is going away from the house.
The way it should. But is it too much?
Yeah. On some sides you can really see it visible, and then there's other sides where you can see that like it was going to cave in.
What kind of a finish do you have on this patio? Is it a broom finish or a smooth flat finish or what?
It's a broom finish.
Okay, now what are the defects? Just list them. List the defects.
Defects. The first one is where the rain gutter is supposed to drain the pipe. The pipe is plugged. It's not even draining.
What do you mean it's plugged? What kind of a drain are we talking about? Does it have a drain built into the slab?
Yeah, it had a hose going down to the slab so we can hook up the gutter.
Oh, really? Wait a minute. So it comes down the house, and then it goes into the slab, and you have a drain underneath the slab that comes out?
Right, but there's no way out.
What do you mean?
It's plugged. I put water down. I put water down the pipe, and water came back up the same way.
Oh, I get it. So where the drain hole is near the house, if you pour water in there, it comes back out.
Right.
Oh, they can probably route that out a bit, or is it solid concrete?
It's solid concrete. I tried looking for it. There's not nowhere anywhere. When I called Paul to
who did the concrete?
PJ Construction.
PJ, where'd you find PJ?
You can't get mad. I found that in the street. He was the lowest bid out of 4 bids that I mean, I always
go out and say, hey, come here. Do you do concrete? It's better if you have out-of-state plates. Okay. And how much did you pay for this?
$4,000.
$4,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So will the guy fix it? Let's just call it what it is. Will he fix it?
That's the thing. I tried calling when I told him that we needed to walk that area because there was some defects. He says, "Okay, I'll be there tomorrow when I go up there and clean up everything, take out the forms."
What's his name?
Paul.
Paul what?
I don't recall his last name.
Okay. It's maybe I'm going to take a guess. Maybe it has PJ Construction, Paul something, Paul J. Maybe it starts.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I want to know. Seriously, the last time you talked to him, when was it?
I think it was. I actually texted him because he wouldn't answer my calls.
When was this done? When was this job done?
It was done on the 10th of May.
Okay.
I called him on the 11th because he was supposed to come back and take all his forms and all that stuff.
Did he ever pick up his stuff?
Nope. I ended up picking up.
Wait a minute. He left his forms?
Yep. I mean, after I take it up, it was just old wood.
He never came to fix. Okay, let's just call him, man. What else can we do? Hold on. I don't know what we can do. Here's what we can do. Where there's a hope and a prayer, we can do something. Where somebody cares about what they do. If this guy's just a bum, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Now, we have an attorney on the line, Mark Trenner, who's an intellectual property attorney, IP. That means they do trademarks, and they do patents, and they do provisional patents, and they do all kinds of stuff. And I haven't talked to Mark in a few months, and so Mark, hi. Oh, actually, I did, because you did a trademark for me. And Mark, thank you for being here, and let's bring up Martin, who has a question for you. Go ahead, Martin.
Hello, this is Mark, and I'm just trying to find. I've got an invention, a product I developed, and I've been going through. I did preliminary market reports, patent searches. I've got the patent pending right now.
Wait a minute, Martin. You actually filed an application?
Yes, I was telling the screener that I actually do have a company that I've been working through. I'm at the stage where I actually have we're able to market it to manufacturers.
Now, wait a minute. Martin, this company you're working through, it's not one of these invention submission companies, is it, where you pay them like $5,000 up front?
It's similar to that, but it's not an invention submission company per se. They're more of a consulting firm that handles the...
Are they for real? Are they for real, yeah. Martin? You feel they are?
Yeah, I know they are. I've been in their offices. I've met the CEOs.
Okay, and in other words, they've handled some legit inventions before.
Correct. Yes, they have.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't go with any of those submission companies because after doing my research on them, I've seen so many class action lawsuits against them.
Yeah.
And
what kind? Can you tell me since it's pending? Now, Mark, do they still call this, Mark Trenner, attorney at law? Do they still call it patent pending, or are they now all provisional patents?
No, I mean, it would still be patent pending as long as you filed either a provisional or a full patent.
Yeah, well, I don't understand the difference. Can you explain the difference between a patent pending and a provisional patent? We have a lot of people who listen that do inventions. What's the difference?
Yeah, the patent pending, that just means that you've applied for a patent, whether you applied for a provisional, which gives you 1 year of patent pending status, or the full patent, which the patent office will take a look at and examine, and if they allowed it, issues as a patent.
Okay, now hold on. Does a patent pending simply means you've applied? Now, why would you apply for a full... Here's what I don't understand, too, and maybe you can clear it up. A provisional patent, isn't that automatically given when you apply for a regular patent?
No, you can apply for a provisional patent before you apply for the regular.
Why would anyone ever go and apply for a regular patent and not go straight?
You'd have to after a year.
No, I understand. But why wouldn't you first get a provisional patent to protect you, or would the application protect you, the mere application for a regular patent?
They both would. I always recommend to my clients to get a provisional patent application first. There's a lot of benefits to getting it.
Okay, I want to go over that. I want to go over that and more. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. And then we'll talk to a biochemist, a doctor.
You know, this guy's got a great idea, man. I can't find anything like it. What? His patent, I can't find a damn thing like it.
Is this the gun?
No, don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
Hey, Jim, you know, there's another thing that Dave Logan advertises.
Blue Sky?
Yeah. But, you know, the two doctors that he puts in his ad are naturopaths, which to me...
They're not.
They're just a bunch of crazy...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But, you know, but they're allowed to call themselves doctors. It's crazy.
So are PhDs.
Well, but Jamie knows...
I agree.
Jamie knows...
Line deeper.
Listen.
Do you know how hard it is to get a PhD?
No, PhDs are real doctors, for God. Listen, I have a PT, a physical therapist who's a PhD. Do you know he's had more education than one of my doctors?
Yeah, you know how hard it is to get a PhD like Jamie does? I couldn't do it.
It's easier to go to med school.
What?
It's easier to go to med school.
No, but
all right, I am a patient of Colorado Pain Care. I was there yesterday for their physical therapy. And the message I want to give you is that it's working. I am a patient. I can tell you they have a plan, and you should get in on it. If you have, please consider Colorado Pain Care. Their one and only goal is to get you out of pain. ColoradoPainCare.com. And you can call their phone number, which is 303-GOT-PAIN. First-hand experience, they're people of action and knowledge. 303-PAIN. All right, another health thing I do, and this is real. Monthly, I get IV treatments. Now, these are therapies that just are basically common, okay? For vitamins, for hydration, you can do it for hangovers, you can do it for migraines. It's one of the most common therapies you have, IV. Now, these IV bars have been popping up, but you can get it in your home with a medical professional for no more than you would pay at a hydration bar. So why not do it at home? You can even text or call for same-day appointments, especially if you're not feeling well. 720-987-2155. Do it right now. 720-987-2155. I do it monthly.
RockyMountainIVMedics.com. Now, here is an idea. If you are looking for an investment, stay away from people who promise to get you rich. Okay, really, we all know that now, I hope. Become the Banker guarantees a 4% tax-free return. It's a guarantee in writing. They've never breached that promise. In addition to that, for like 100 years, it's been paying an additional 1% in a dividend. So Become the Banker is a life insurance policy that you get to intentionally overfund. Why? Because that cash value grows tax-free. It's a loophole. You can also take it out tax-free. It's all legal. It's a great retirement plan. That's why they call it Become the Banker. You can also use it through your life. BecomeTheBanker.org for more information. I got something. When you walk into a house, what's the first thing you notice? Some people tell me they notice the walls, they notice the furniture. But I'm talking about a vacant home. When you walk in, it's floor coverings. If you have dingy old carpets or matted down carpets or bad floors, wood floors or tile, you're going to notice it. To buy new floor coverings, you can go anywhere and you're going to find all the same floor coverings. So I'm not trying to tell you Simply Floors, Inc. is the place to go for selection. Well, they do have selection, just like everyone else, but that's the place to go for better pricing and better people and better installation and an overall better experience. Why? Because of them. Buddy and Karen Mitchell and their entire team. Make your own appointment. Simply Floors Inc. INC. SimplyFloorsInc.com. I was trying to tell you I had one more, and I can't. Yeah, but it's okay. We can take a break. You want me to come back for a fuller? Okay.
First thing you notice when you walk into a house is the smell.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's true, by the way. That is true.
Yeah, I wasn't being facetious.
I hate hot smell. Oh, fucking hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
That's why they tell you to bake cookies when you have an open house. And Frank will tell you that when you speak to him.
Frank doesn't believe in open houses.
Well, but he has a showing, right?
Yeah, when he has a showing,
yeah,
sure.
If you bake cookies.
Except so many people are hip to that now, it's almost phony.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's still.
Yeah, he's so against open houses, it's crazy.
It's for the neighbors.
It is. That's what he'll tell you.
It is. Well, I'm saying it can't hurt.
I love my brother-in-law, Vinny, but I'm not going to ask him for legal advice. You'd be surprised how many people get into an accident, and then they ask everyone, what should I do? How much is it worth? Should I sue? Is it my fault? Is it their fault? How much does this cost? How much does that cost? Call John Fuller, attorney at law. He is an accident specialist for injuries. He will talk to you free of charge. He'll answer your questions free of charge, and it'll be legal advice when you need it the most. John Fuller. That's right. You call him, and you don't pay. You don't even pay if you hire him, and there's no obligation. Because when you hire him, he works on contingency. That means he only collects if he collects for you. John Fuller. Look for him at referralist.com. John Fuller. His number, 303-597-4500. Listen, nothing against my brother-in-law, Vinny, but you need an attorney. 303-597-4500.
One out there, low 90s for this afternoon.
Tomorrow's supposed to be 96.
Stay dry, and that's the wind.
You know?
Why do you even keep that up if you have your headphones on, out of curiosity?
Keep what?
Why do you even keep that up if you have headphones in? I'm just curious.
Oh, you
unplug it.
Well, I don't have to, but
no, I just
you want me to kill the monitor? I mean, do you not like the monitor?
I don't like the monitor at all.
Well, I don't mind the monitor.
But if you can't hear it, I thought you had those on all the time.
If you want me to turn it down, I mean, is it better for the feed?
Yes. Hey, Tom, when you get a chance, I have an interesting update on Elevate Medical. Remember the guy who was due a refund?
Yeah.
Wait till you hear this.
Yeah, and he only got 400.
Let me tell you why.
And these are a bunch of chiropractors.
Well, it doesn't matter, but I'll tell you what they do. What do they do? You taught me to tease.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK. One clear choice. Garage doors. is my choice and your choice too. 24/7 service for broken springs and emergencies. But they have new openers now that have time to close feature, battery backups, Wi-Fi. Oh, it's so cool. You have a smart app on your phone. So that's oneclearchoicedoors.com, whether you're getting a door or an opener. The new sidewinders with no overhead contraptions. They go on the side and they're so efficient. All prices fully disclosed. oneclearchoicedoors.com. Welcome, Jamie. Jamie is with Dr. Jamie Baumgarten is with Panacea Life Sciences. We'll be talking to him in a minute about some CBD products and what they do and some questions we've had for him. Right now I'm going to Mark Trenner, attorney at law, because we're asking him advice on this guy's invention, which, by the way, Mark reviewed. I haven't seen it yet, but Mark Major over here, he said he loves it. Mark Trenner, we asked, when you have an invention, what do? If you do a patent search and it's nothing like it, you can apply for a patent, and while you're applied, you technically have a patent pending. Is that right, Mark?
That's right, and that's what your caller said he did, so he's on the right track there.
Now, but there's something else you could do. It's called a provisional patent, and I'm going to try to explain this in amateur terms, see if it's right. A provisional patent says this: since you came here and you have invention A, we are going to give you a patent right now for A. Now, if it turns out when you get to the end of the line, when you start for your regular patent, if it turns out there's another patent, or another product like it, this patent will be revoked. But if there's nothing else, you're the first one here. I don't know. Something like that? Is it like provisional, meaning as long as no one else is there, you can have it?
Almost, but not quite. It's not an actual patent. It's just patent pending. So you file the provisional patent application. The day that you file, you get a serial number back from the patent office, a filing acknowledgement saying that you filed with them, and so you have patent pending status.
Here's the only confusion I have, and please forgive me, but I'm confused. If I go and apply for a patent, I have a patent pending. If I go to get a provisional patent, I have a patent pending. You said there's way more benefit to a provisional patent. What's the more benefit?
So it's a lot less expensive. It's about 3 to 4 times less expensive.
Oh!
You can also make changes before you file the full regular patent, which you can't do once you file the full regular.
Oh,
you
so
can,
it preserves your place it preserves your place in line for a year.
That's it. Exactly.
Okay. Now, Jamie, you're shaking your head yes. Do you guys do a lot of IP stuff at Panacea when you have new stuff? Are those things patentable?
Yeah, I mean, so we do a fair bit of patent work just to make sure we protect our intellectual property. And so we do a lot of provisional patents.
Now, what would be an intellectual property with CBD, like with Panacea?
Yeah, because you can't patent a strawberry.
Yeah, so what do you patent?
The use of cannabinoids for specific conditions that we actually formulate. So bioavailability, for example, how much you take in your mouth that gets in your bloodstream. There are certain things that we've done that actually are proprietary that we're filing patents on.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, that's considered a utility patent then, right?
That's correct.
Oh, so Mark, so drugs in a way, this is not a drug but a supplement, they are patentable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have clients in that industry as well, and it certainly is, there certainly is a lot of patentable technology there.
Can you patent, if you modified a fruit, maybe I misspoke, if you modified a fruit, could you patent a fruit? Like if you took an orange and an apple and made an orange apple?
You know, with the technology.
A different type of patent. That's going to be a plant patent when you start modifying the genetics of plants.
Wow.
So, yeah, different types of apples or whatever.
What do they call that technology now they're doing, and it's really controversial, the genetic...
Clipper?
The modifications to fruits and vegetables, and it's genetically enhanced.
So Clipper is one of those technologies that allows you to manipulate genes.
So Mark, there could be a fruit someday that is patented because our apples.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, like a Mackinac peach. Is they're the only ones that can call it that?
So now you're getting into the world of trademarks when you start talking about what it's called. But a lot of these seeds that farmers have are patented, and they're not allowed to harvest the seeds and replant them. They have to go back to the manufacturer.
Wow.
They have
So
a license.
GMO just stands for genetically modified. Is that what it means?
Yeah.
GMO?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark, that's opening up a world then of new patents and trademarks and everything, right? So let's go to Martin. Now, Martin, what advice did you need, since you have a company involved, what advice did you need on your invention? And since you have a patent pending, we want to know what it is. What is it?
It's called the Low-Tech ARSS. The ARSS stands for Automated Ratchet Securement System.
Wait, what is it? Is it a tool?
Yeah, it's actually a tool. If you look at semi-trucks, flatbeds like that going down the interstate, you see on the side where the straps go over the loads, there's a ratcheting winch on the side where you stick a load bar in and you tighten down the strap. Okay, now as you drive down the road, your bumps to start and stop, the left-hand turn, right-hand turns, your loads will shift and your straps will loosen. And that can cause truck tip-overs, it can cause sump loads, it can cause deaths. What my invention is it's an automated ratchet control system which monitors the tension, and as it loses tension, it automatically tightens it, so you don't have to stop, get out, put yourself in a precarious position in order to try to tighten that down, being inches away from the interstate with cars flying by you.
It automatically maintains a pre-designated tension that you set, or what?
No, picture you strap something down on a semi.
I'm looking at it, right?
So as he's driving and it's shifting, it'll retighten it, but it'll also send all the information to the app, what the hell's going on with your load.
So hold on.
Yeah,
how does it? I mean, other than it's mechanical, so it has a motor that literally ratchets it,
and it automatically does it as you're driving and the load shifts. So as it loosens naturally, making a left or right, it'll automatically ratchet it and send you to the app that it loosened, it ratcheted it. It's ingenious.
I love it. Now, when one ratchets, does the other one loosen if it needs to?
It holds it at the tension, so it won't need to loosen. If you need to loosen it, that on the app itself, you would just push the release tension, and it would open up and just go to a free spin.
So this ratcheting system, when you first put the load on and ratchet it, that's done automatically too. Then you set the tension.
Well, you have the options, and the way the app is set up, you have the options. You can tighten it down by hand, and then have it identify the tension it's set at, and it'll hold it there. You can put it in and take up the slack by hand, and then put in a preset tension, and it will ratchet it to that tension. Or you can use voice commands.
Now, when I look at this, and I think people should look at it, it's Low-Tech ARSS, LoadTechARSS.com. I guess what I'm asking is, we know the saying, necessity is the mother of invention. What was your necessity? What happened to you? How did you come up with this?
To make a long story short, I was basically on a 2-lane back road that was a high-speed road, and I do believe it was northern Utah with the flatbed, and it was freezing cold outside. I was in a nice warm cab, and I was driving, and I noticed my straps were flapping. It was nighttime. It was cold. It was icy out. I had to go out, pull over the side of the road. When I opened my door, I knew I was going to foul the drive lane. That's how tight it was on the shoulder. And I was slipping on the ice trying to tighten that down. Cars zipping by me. I knew I was inches away from being a hood ornament. And I wrenched my back going from the hot cab to the cold.
This is great.
Did I don't have to get this approved like through the FMCSA or
what's that, Mark?
Well,
say what
the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that basically says how you have to secure stuff. Have they authorized this for use, or you don't have to do that? I'm not a trucker, so I don't know.
Well, not really. No, as long as you have a ratcheting system, a tie-down system on your vehicles.
Yeah, if it works, in other words, if it works, it works, Mark. I think if it's unsecured, you get a ticket, but I don't think they go so far as to say what kind of secure you need. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either.
Here's the thing. I guess I want to get right to this. What advice do you need?
I'm looking for the advice on how to get in touch with more manufacturers, to be able to talk to people, to be able to show them this, people that can actually manufacture it. It's not like you can do a 3D print-up model of this, because you've got the electronics in it, the app in it.
Well, you do have prototypes, right? You have prototypes, right?
There are no prototypes of it. All we have is the mock-up on the website right now. That's what I need to discuss.
Oh my God! Well, okay.
All you have is an idea.
Hold on. I don't even know if this is Mark's territory. Is it, Mark?
No, I just help on the legal side. I don't get involved in the marketing.
Anyway, but for those who need Mark, here's what it is. Because he's wonderful at what he does, 720-221-3708. 720-221-3708. Now, Martin, if you're talking about launching a business and making money, now that's where we shine.
Well, wait.
So I'm going to tell you the steps I would take if I were you in this stage. So let's talk about that. But Justin, and if you would do me a favor, Martin, we'll go to one call in between because I don't want people to wait for the whole thing. Hold on.
But you can't trademark an idea, Mark. Or can
you can not trademark.
Okay, I have an idea of flying something.
Yes, you can patent an idea if you have a working drawing and a working sketch and sign.
Understood, but he's got nothing.
Well, they're going to be asking those questions as he goes on in the process. He has. You're right. He has a pretty animation, is what he has.
It's not even an animation. It's just a picture.
It is an idea, actually.
That's just a picture.
Yeah, you can't trademark an idea.
Well, first of all, you don't trademark anything. I think it's the patent you're talking about.
You don't patent an idea.
Okay. You know what? Damn it, get Mark back.
Well, this is an idea.
Mark, I have an idea. Mark, I bring this up all the time. Remember that time I told you this guy came in and said, well, I have an idea of an airplane seat that you sit in and during a crash it automatically cocoons you and you never die? And I said, okay, cool. I said, well, how's it done? I have no idea.
That's what I mean. How would you
He had all these diagrams of all this. So that's a good point. At some point, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Tom, I spoke to Paul about the...
okay, let's talk about the Art of Granite. And how the Art of Granite does business in a very simple way. Wholesale on all materials for your countertops. And then you pay for fabrication and installation. Now, what's good about this is he can give you a price on the phone, and he's proud of it, because he does tear out and haul away free. He also throws in the bathroom vanity when you do the kitchen, and he does that free. So if you need countertops, theartofgranite.com. Now, don't just call to get a price on the phone. He does beautiful work, and it's not just granite, but any solid surface you want. Granite, marble, quartz, quartzite, whatever you want. That is 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com. You notice I just gave out a website, right? Theartofgranite.com. And then for the CBD products, I love using realcbdthatworks.com. You know, URLs or websites, website addresses, they're good. They're good to have. Every business needs one, but they don't do you any good if people don't find them. Or what if people do find them and it's jumbled, it's garbled, it doesn't load fast, or it's disorganized? Here's what you need: an analysis of your website, free. GetFoundFast.com. These are the people that do analysis of websites free. GetFoundFast.com. They'd love for you to hire them, but there's no obligation. GetFoundFast.com.
Yeah, stick to those 30s, please.
I know.
I'm already getting help.
I know.
So, okay, here would be an idea of why you can't patent an idea. I've got an idea of a cure for Alzheimer's. Now it's mine. So if anybody comes up with it, I own it.
I know, but
it's ridiculous.
But there is a point at which an idea is patentable. I have to ask him, what is it? Because the guy with the airline seat, it was the greatest idea in the world, except this fucking, I said, okay, I have an idea that airplanes never crash because they have this giant, helium tank or something. Whatever it is, it's you can't just have an idea, right?
That's correct.
And this guy made a beautiful fucking looking thing. But is that even technically possible to get enough force in that thing to do it?
Well, I can draw a picture of a flying object.
Exactly.
Does that mean
right now he has a cartoon? Right now he has a cartoon.
What's his invention?
It's just a ratcheting system that automatically holds tension.
And then the problem with that is, man, that thing breaks and there's a load and 50 million people die.
And even the app, I wonder, is the app developed?
Oh, God, he has no idea what he's getting into there.
Right. Man,
no, because right now, if you go to somebody with this, they'll say,
how about it's so it over tensions Someone breaks into that app while they're cruising next to them and loosens it.
That's a different issue, right? That's not the utility for the patent. Right?
Yeah, of course it is.
No, but I'm saying just as a product, I mean, he's got way more to think of.
Yeah,
just the safety
regular
aspects.
ratcheting systems have that to worry about. I mean, that's.
I don't know about that. Regular ratcheting systems are usually done by hand, not where someone could crack into your phone and change your load while you're doing 75 on the highway. How about the driver? He said you hit a button and it'll loosen it. Well, how about if he accidentally, his kid picks up his phone during the trip?
That's like any app, though, right?
Yeah, but any app's not.
There should be fail-safes, like, for example, the GPS knows you're moving. You could prevent loosening while moving and all that stuff. I mean, but let's not go down those funny roads. I want to know about ideas, because when he said he didn't have he didn't even have a prototype. See, this one guy, here was another guy.
So you know, you were a minute over on those.
This other guy said, this other guy had an invention for the ocean where there's something, it was some kind of perpetual motion bullshit, and he had it all drawn out, and he wanted to patent that. And then I had another guy that had some really good ideas. They're like clever, like this is very clever. But it is kind of just an idea.
You know, anybody can envision a rocket ship that takes off, and then the bottom half of it comes back to Earth perfectly and lands wherever you want. But only one person fucking did it. Yeah. I mean, that's who's going to patent it. I could have came up with that idea.
Well, everyone came up.
I wanted to change a restaurant at the top of this building. Remember that? Kramer had the idea of that, but someone actually did it. He was like, "That's my idea." Oh, you're horrible with Seinfeld. You fucking know nothing. No, you don't. You know nothing. I guarantee our people know exactly what I'm talking about. That's very sad.
I had things that I sketched out as a young person. I had drawings and everything of shit that's on the market. I can't. But it was just an idea. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Well, he had the idea of the beach.
I think you got
that too. He had the idea. I think you totally forget. Someone changed the restaurant on top. I had that idea years ago. I think it was the new Lenny episode.
I gave a talk one time to a group of executives, and one of the companies went out and did it. They really did. It was a talk I gave on what you should. It was customer service and stuff, and they did it. And I swear to God, it fucking worked. And it.
You patented it?
No.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to talk to Justin. I'm going to go back to this inventor in a minute, because there's a very important thing we need to talk about that will affect everyone who has an idea. But first, I want to take this Justin call because it sounds curious to me. Justin, what's happening?
Well, hey, Tom, I'll make this. I got 2 quick points for you. I was calling to say farewell and moving to Michigan. But I just learned I'm the least tech-savvy 26-year-old on the planet, and the company I've been working for, that's where they're based out of. So it's going to be nice to live there.
Oh, okay. Well, nice. Define nice. I mean, Colorado's pretty nice. It might be cheaper. Of course, Colorado's great. You know, Michigan's going to have some muggy weather. You know that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've spent a couple summers and a couple winters up there.
Okay.
They're a little harsh. But then the other quick point I wanted to make is I've never had to call the show with an issue with the customer because I've specifically used the referral list. And I think that's important to point out.
Thank you. Thank you. Another thing I want to ask, when you do your driving, do you ever have loads that you have to secure with the ratcheting systems?
Absolutely. I was just listening to that, and that is the most interesting thing I've ever heard. My recommendation to him is to try to find one of these big companies, specifically in flatbedding truck driving, and kind of get with them to try to take this off, because that is something that would be very widely used.
I want to give a scenario, though, and here's what's going to happen. So Martin has what really amounts to a cartoon, an animation on this product. It shows a beautiful ratcheting system. It shows an enclosed motor. It shows an app. It shows how it works on a truck, but it's an animation. So I'm going to tell you that one guy walked into me years ago, Mark Trenner, attorney at law for patents. He walks into me years ago and he says, Tom, I have an idea for an airplane seat on airlines that automatically, upon command or impact, cocoons the passenger. It flips up and cocoons them in like a shell so they won't get hurt. Now, I said to him, that's pretty cool. How would it work? He said, I have no idea. I said, well, do you have a prototype? No. I said, well, what do you have? An idea. And so he wanted to go to the airlines and sell it. I said, you're not selling anything. What are you selling? I mean, I could say I have an idea for this or that, but unless you have something, and now I'm just learning from Martin, he doesn't have a prototype. And if you don't have a prototype, Mark, I don't get what you can and cannot patent. When you get right down to it, Mark, what's to prevent me from saying I got that system? I mean, seriously, and just alter it a little. What is to prevent a trucking company, if he does go to them, to say, hey, man, thanks for the idea, and they come up with one completely different? I'm asking you, when can you patent an idea, or when is it just an idea?
You can patent it once you've thought through all the details of how it would work. So even so he hasn't built it, if he was able to describe in his patent application or his provisional exactly how you would build one of these, the fact that he doesn't have a physical product doesn't matter as long as he's got the drawings and the explanation that explain all of it, all the details of how it works.
But the drawings have to make sense. I mean, I can't just say, here's going to be a motor here and a gear here.
And how about if he wanted to do, let's say he designed it hydraulics instead of using gears. Could someone else do hydraulics and do basically the same function but doing it a different way?
It's really going to depend on how the patent application is written. If it was written well, it covers a lot of different variations.
But you know, Mark, I think he's going to fall into a trap a lot of inventors do. And what that is trying to sell something too early on the food chain. Because seriously, Martin, people are not going to say, cool, Martin, let's give you millions so you can develop it, and then we'll buy it. I mean, they're not going to do it. They'll develop their own. So Martin, what you need first, before you even consider sales, for goodness sakes, you need to get somebody who believes in this enough to want to own part of it with you and invest in building it. You got to get it built. If this is not built, and if it doesn't go through testing and show that it works, you don't have much unless you disagree, Mark. Are there end users who ever look at stuff like this in your experience and say, sure, let's develop this together?
I mean, that's going to be pretty rare. Usually what I'll recommend is get that provisional application filed with as many different alternatives as you can, and the day that you file, get out there and start working on the prototype, get that built, because you're exactly right. Before you take it to manufacturers, they're going to want to see the actual product, not just an idea.
Yeah, so your question, Martin, again, we're going to let Mark Trenner go. Mark Trenner, just for if you need someone for trademarks, inventions, copyrights, 720-221-3708. Now, as far as you're going, Martin, I don't want to discourage you, of course, but you called for some advice. Right now, do you have anyone interested in helping you develop this?
At this point, no. I just started getting to that point. What I'm looking to do is I'm trying to work with see if I can get with a manufacturer, preferably a current manufacturer who manufactures the current manual system, and work with them. You know,
why would they need you, though?
Yeah, why would work with them? How? What do you mean work with them? Define that.
Because with the patent being pending on it right now, is that the entire concept is right now.
They're not going to do it. Here's what you do first. First, you need to do a business plan with a feasibility study on cost versus end product price, and then you have to go out and get actual people in the industry who say, I would absolutely buy this because for each unit, remember, you have to find people who want it. Is it the people who own the actual cargo or the ones who own the trailer? And the ones who own the trailers, if they equip their trailers with that, will they get more business than people who have regular ratcheting systems? I mean, really, who wants this? You really have to decide that. See, Martin, I know you just said yes, but what did you say yes to? The people who own the trailer? They may not care. I'm not equipping all my trailers with these things. The people who ship cargo, I'll pick a cargo company that doesn't destroy my stuff. The drivers, they may not have control. What I'm getting at is we need to know who your end user is and what is their incentive to do it.
You know, I would think
seriously, that's what you need to do, and I think you're bypassing that whole thing.
I think Tesla probably thought about this already with their autonomous trucking stuff.
Well, anyway, here's the problem, Martin. You got to find end users who are willing to pay for it, and you got to get testimonies before you get anyone interested in even looking at it.
I thought the guy...
See, the guy has done no research whatsoever. He just has an idea. Right? He does.
But he does have a patent pending though on it.
Yeah, but so what?
Well, like I say, at least if he gets across if they have autonomous vehicles, they'll have to have this trucking.
But you don't think fucking Teslas are...
I don't know.
They can launch
I don't know.
Okay. They can't secure cargo yet, but they can launch fucking people into space.
You can file a patent today on anything and get rejected, and you could call it patent pending. Okay. But the advice here is much better about how you actually execute that or prosecute the patent. So.
And he should do a thorough patent search because he could be hidden in another patent.
Well, they have to. Autonomous trucking, just like you said, man. I mean, how do you think? You think they just let the cargo go everywhere? It's not monitored? They have no idea?
Here's what I think.
There's no way that hasn't been thought through.
I think that Tesla probably is only on the trucks and the drivetrain. I don't think he probably... I mean, I'm just saying...
They would have to monitor.
No, of course he would. But I think what they're concerned about now is autonomous. The autonomy. Just getting the fucking thing to go across country. You know, without...
That would be the next step, is what you're saying.
I don't think they even got into that part yet.
But he does do a thorough patent search. A thorough patent search is what it should be his first thing he does.
Mr. Green Jeans is on the log here, and he has a landscape company, and he does great work. Mr. Green Jeans, LLC.com. And Mark, who else do you want to talk about?
I love Paragon. It's a quick time to talk about Paragon. These guys are amazing. You have any issues whatsoever with your homeowner's insurance or any business insurance, they'll get involved and they'll get you a check. They got me over 70 grand.
We call them public adjustments.
That's right.
They work for the public. Any insurance claim, they will do better than you can. It's that simple.
Check them out at referralist.com.
Now, Affordable Interest Mortgage, AIM. That's Kurt Rogers and his team. What do I love about Affordable Interest Mortgage? The liquid loan. Yes, they have jumbos. Yes, they have conventional. Yes, they have FHA. They have VA. But what is the liquid loan? It's a first deed of trust line of credit. So let's say you owe $250 on your house. It pays that off. Now let's say you have more equity available. It stays as a line of credit. Or if your house is already paid off. Whatever it is, the extra equity is a line of credit. You can use it or not. But here's the real thing. You can now put money in a bank that counts against your average daily balance, and as it counts against your average daily balance, you pay less interest. So you can pay that up and down by simply having money in the bank monthly. That's Affordable Interest Mortgage, AImortgage.net, AImortgage.net, 720-895-0500.
Check out a game changer, someone changing the industry. You know who it is? It's Master Rooter Plumbing. How are they changing it? Well, it's simple. They're the only plumber that will go to your house and give you a free estimate. A licensed plumber with great service, always on time. They're great people. And if you ever need a sewer line replacement or a water line, these guys own their own excavation company. Great prices, great people. 720-434-3406, 720-434-3406.
Yeah, I got to remember. Can you?
Oh shit, dude! I looked at it too, and I didn't remember.
Change?
No, because if I do that, it's a whole new fucking deal. We just got to remember. I don't know how it's
okay.
Between both of us, we should remember.
At least I didn't devote a lot of time to it.
I wouldn't vote on that.
I know. Even if we both know, we should remember. Wouldn't it be funny if two people, you know, they made a date, okay, we'll meet for lunch, and both literally forgot it? Like it just never happened. It never was talked about, never happened. Did anybody explain to you what the restaurant was?
I spoke to that PJ Construction, Tom.
What's that?
I spoke to PJ Construction.
What the fuck is Mark?
The guy called up.
Oh, you're so full of shit.
So I spoke to Paul, the owner.
PJ.
Remember?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt called up.
Dan, you didn't watch Seinfeld?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, barely.
Oh, I'm so much better than Mark.
Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah.
I can't believe you don't
more
remember
than
that.
everyone knows about it.
So Kramer comes in, they read in the paper that they are changing some top of like the Chrysler building, wherever it is, something in New York somewhere, so it wouldn't be the Chrysler building, into a restaurant. Kramer goes, oh, I had that idea 10 years ago and they stole it. And Jerry goes, yeah, with what? With what money did you have to do it? You know, with what this?
So it wasn't really a patent, it was just an idea. But his beach, he did want a patent.
Yeah, but how do you patent? You know, that's funny. How do you patent a smell?
You get
Where the hell?
Yeah, but every smell's different to everybody. I don't understand how you could do that.
How could you say that?
I guarantee coffee right now smells 100% different to Suzanne than it does to you or anybody else.
But
Perfumeries actually patent their
The chemical makeup of it, not the actual odor.
No, but IFF has thousands of patents on their formulas.
What is IFF, Doc?
International Flavors and Fragrances. They have.
But that's on the makeup.
Right.
That's not on the smell.
No, but the makeup gives you this. It's like with perfume.
Maybe so, but it's going to smell different to everybody's my only.
What is?
Every odor in the world is going to smell different to everybody. Would you agree with that?
Well, to a certain extent, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
so how would you
we
patent
don't really
smell?
know, but we don't really know.
You patent the
They are
compound,
patented.
just like
not the smell, the makeup, the ingredients to create the smell.
Just like
not the smell.
Now, the odor, of course.
You can't.
But what I'm getting at is that we would never know if the odors we're smelling are the same or not. Just like I don't know if your yellow is my yellow.
Exactly.
I mean,
I agree 100%.
We can assume because we're biologically similar.
Your ugly is my ugly.
No, I mean, but you assume we're interpreting things the same.
No, but if you have a compound that smells like, let's say, apples, and we all agree it smells like apples, you think that's different, Mark?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. Listen, let's get right to Ken.
Wants to comment on this invention. People, I am going to take other calls, and I do have advice for Martin. It's really important. So many people have ideas, and we need to know the steps. Now, Ken, go ahead. What's going on?
Yeah, Mark kind of stole my thunder there, but yeah, I was just going to talk about how the self-driving trucks are coming out here in the future, and yeah, there won't be no driver to strap down the load, so he'll have to have an automatic system like that on them.
No, it's going to be great, I think it's great, this idea. I think the technology is great. The question is, though, what does Martin have right now other than an idea? He doesn't have much, okay? He has some diagrams. He can probably build it. But here's the point. In order to get people interested, what you have to have, you have an idea, right? Second, the idea must be doable. Okay? Because I can have an idea that we're all going to fly with little feathers on our feet, but it won't work. So what we do is we have an idea, then we have feasibility. It can be done. Then we have prototyping. How is it done? And then after that, you have one and only, the most important, who is the end user? And is the end user willing to pay for it? I think in this case, it's going to be a little difficult to find the end user. I mean, these automated trucks, yes. And I'm not saying he shouldn't go through with this. I think it's ingenious, even for individuals. We have more coming up.
It's already being done.
But that's what he needs to do.
Being done, Mark?
There's so many articles on this, it's fucking crazy.
Oh, is it really?
Is there articles on automated?
Yes, they're saying it's going to have to do all of that.
No, I'm not saying it has to. I want to know if anyone has come up with a system of automated.
I'm sure Tesla has.
So step one has to be a thorough patent search.
He said he did it.
Yeah, but who did it? Him?
Here's the whole deal, man. Just the security is going to be crazy.
Well, I mean,
doing a patent search is a lot tougher than it sounds. I mean, if you,
I agree. Absolutely. I agree.
How do you spell cinch? Is it C-Y-S-Y-N-C-H?
C-I-N-C-H.
Oh, that's what I thought.
That's what he's correct. I'm not sure.
No, cinch is C-I-N-C-H.
Say that? Did you see that himself?
I don't think he talked about doing a search at all.
Oh.
He said he's got patent pending.
Oh, okay.
There. And that's the first thing the examiner will just say, how?
Why?
Exactly.
Well, what?
Because somebody already has a patent filed, or expiry date, all that. The other thing with those provisional patents, you've got 12 months to actually get your prototype done. And if you don't actually prosecute your patent after the 12 months, then it counts as prior art. You can't patent it again. So that's the only danger with provisionals. They're cheap, but
Yeah, I think he jumped the first couple steps.
He didn't jump it. He didn't do it.
That's what I'm saying. He jumped over.
Tommy, the CEO of a 3D printing company emailed saying they might be able to help Martin. I just sent you the email in case you want to look at that. I told Martin, he was super excited, but I don't know, it's kind of cool.
No, get the guy on even. I'd love to have him on.
Okay, it's lady, but okay.
Lady.
I'll see if she can come on.
Cinching mechanisms. I'm looking for cinching mechanisms right now.
This guy's
Cinch straps, speed reps. Okay, those are Velcro.
This guy has an idea on YouTube. How about less commercials in our show? He's going to patent it. I mean, this guy went right to the website and made a website on it. That's what's really crazy.
did it before he filed his patent?
No, he's got a patent pending. This is a website. Oh, he got it?
That was good.
Which to me is he jumped way ahead. This is the guy's website. This is Martin there.
Huh.
So he got, he's got pictures. Well, I like to say that.
So he's working with a company that should have fucking called him.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So what's that?
You know, like what he needs to do. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, that company's not, I mean, that's how that company makes money, is from guys like him. I got this idea, where do I start? Give us 5,000.
Although I'm not finding any automated cinching straps anywhere.
Did he put any detail on what that meant, on what he's trying to do there?
Well, let's see. So here's the concept. This is the. I guess he's. Man, he went a long ways. I mean, so that's. This is a little video on it and stuff. So I mean, someone's had to have. He's paid some money.
That's just the CGI, right? So.
But he's paid some money to have this done.
Yeah.
But no software, I'm sure, has been actually.
And the other danger is how, you know, if you actually put this out there about whether you divulge any secrets and you violate your patent, because now it's public domain.
No, it's not public one because they already filed. So that gets them away from that disclosure.
But if there's anything that say his patent is in this hand and what he describes, anything else he divulges.
That's right. That's right. It's public domain. That's right.
And then, like you say, after 12 months.
But I'm assuming, you know, why would you divulge anything outside of it? You would assume he doesn't know anything outside of it. I'm just trying to figure out. It's cool something.
Oh yeah, no, I think it is a system that's going to be needed, especially when you do get self-driving trucks. And when you say breaking into it and all that kind of stuff, hell.
Do truck drivers, when they stop at a truck stop, they go and check their cinches?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the first things when they jump out, they do.
They go and redo it?
Yep.
What do you mean breaking into
Unless there's a, what do they call the prostitutes at truck stops? What do they call them?
Lot lizard.
Lot lizard. Unless a lot lizard is right.
No, I'm just saying he hasn't thought through any of that shit.
Yes.
None of it. He's Kramer.
It's Kramer.
And Tom brought up something very interesting too. Don't most of these guys, they just pull up and pick up a trailer? I mean, you're not you don't load it from one trailer to another.
And what I want to know is, who would buy it? If you own trailers, would you invest in that system? Then you have to make sure that the drivers know how to use it with their app.
You wouldn't. Why would you invest in
but how are you going to get everybody to use it?
Owner-operator, I think, would be a big one that would use it.
But they're not his trailers.
Most of the
he's
time.
responsible for the load, though.
Yeah, but what does he do?
In his little cartoon, they're bolted and attached onto the trailer.
But listen, what does he do?
They're not like
if
mobile,
you're an
they're
owner-operator, you bring these with you and install them on the trailer?
That'd be insane.
No, you'd have to have the trailer. So, but an owner-operator might have a flat.
Most of them don't.
No, dude, because you go pick up a load.
Right. Well, depending upon it's a long-term contract.
Fucking Kramer Jr.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what would be the incentive for a trailer manufacturer to increase his price per unit?
There'd be none.
He would have to say, okay, our trailers are better. Do you really think they give a shit?
But not only that,
because
the driver's responsible for that load, and if he doesn't understand the system, he'll probably just strap it down
the
himself.
shipper who ultimately, the shipper's not going to pay higher rates because you have an automated cinching system.
Right.
They don't give a shit. They want to ship it as cheaply as possible. I swear to you that not one of them would say, use this trailer system only. I don't see anywhere where a demand is going to be created. That's the problem. The only place I see are individual people who have their own rig.
They might ship cars, for example.
Yeah, and they do it all the time. Or a moving company, somebody who just automatically just does their own thing, and they want to. There is no market essentially for this, and he doesn't even realize that. There are individuals with pickup trucks that would buy it, maybe, or people who have trailers. I don't see a commercial trailer ever investing in this, because then they have to invest in this and hope whoever drives the tractor part of it has the system to integrate to it.
Well, I wonder if ships and stuff have, they have to have some type of a...
They put everything in containers, man.
I know, but containers got... Maybe he should go on shark tank. That happens sometimes.
I don't know.
The pallets are secured within the containers, you're right.
Yeah,
and what about airplanes, cargo airplanes? They must have their load shifts and stuff. That's dangerous.
I don't know what they do.
They strap the shit out of it.
Airlines could want that with a readout for the pilot, possibly.
Troubleshooter Show.
I don't know. This is weird. It's weird.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Genesis now doing solar. Genesis Total Exteriors. Add to the exteriors solar systems. We can trust Genesis for home improvements. They do inside and out. And now you can trust them for solar. And Mark, did we decide if their solar website is up and running yet? Genesis, did you check it yet?
Yes.
GenesisSolarCO.com.
Bingo.
GenesisSolarCO.com.
And man, you can save a ton of money. Wait till Mark comes in, but I have got some stats for you. We'll go over it in the near future.
Okay, and that's Genesis for solar on a referral list, referrallist.com. Okay, I need to take this guy. He's been waiting a while, then I'll go back to some other calls. If you have any problems, question, or complaints specifically, if you have anything to do with CBD, if you have any questions on that, although I do have them since I mentioned it, and we will get to that, I promise. Clayton, what's going on with you, Clayton?
Well, on May 3rd, I got on the bus down in Fountain, Colorado to take it into Colorado Springs to do some business. And it was raining. While traveling on the bus, the windshield wipers grabbed my handlebars on the bike, flipped the bike out of the bike rack underneath the bus.
Oh, wow. That's weird. So your bicycle was on the rack in front of the bus?
Yes.
And the windshield wipers, how did they... that's a weird... I'm trying to get a visualization. How did they get the bicycle unhooked?
I have no idea, but it's got a thing when you first put it on the bike rack, you clamp it down on the front wheel, it sort of holds it in place.
Yeah.
But the back wheel is free to move, so I imagine the back wheel comes up and it goes right over that brace. It manipulates its way out as it goes.
I bet you they're going to blame you for not loading the bike right. They're going to do something. Are they going to take responsibility?
I've put in a number of complaints since May 3rd.
First, what system was this?
What's anything other than...
Well, who's the transportation system? Who's the owner of the bus? Who's the operator?
Mountain Metro Transit.
And, okay, normally, if they're like RTD or any other system, they self-insure. So, did they tell you they have an insurance company, or did they mention an insurance company?
The only thing I've heard out of them is on the first day that I had contact with them, they would turn in the report. That was on May 3rd. I haven't heard a thing, and I've contacted them a number of times since then.
Okay. This sounds like just basically they're hoping you go away. How much was the bicycle worth?
The bicycle, when it was bought brand new, was a $430 bike.
Yeah, you're not looking for the world here.
I took it to a bike shop that did the bike repairs on the day of the accident, and a few days later, the total bill come to $151.57.
Wait, it's fixed now?
Yes.
And all you're looking for is $150?
No, I would settle for $80 and a letter that I wrote.
Clayton, wait a minute. Clayton, they should help you out. I mean, it's not like you're looking for the world and being a jerk. You're being very reasonable. You just want them to fix your bicycle.
Did you put a claim in somewhere?
Did you actually fill out something?
I filled out a report at their office, and I've sent them letters. I gave them my correct phone number a number of times. The last letter that I sent them was on May 19th, 2021.
All right, hold on, man. Let's help you get through some red tape. Let's help you. Who wants to take this? Who should we give this to? Deputy Smarty Pants? He's good at getting through red tape. Seriously. Suze, let's just call these people and say, why are you ignoring this man? And by the way, Smarty Pants has a bunch of follow-ups, and I know he can't talk today, but I'd rather wait to get him on to go through some of them. But hold on a second, Martin. Let's see if we can have someone make a call for you, okay? Now, we have Deborah Wilcoxon. She has a 3D printing store. She wanted to call in about prototyping. Deborah, welcome to the show. Now, the printing store, the 3D printing store, what is that?
The 3D printing store is a service bureau, and we have a number of different 3D printing technologies here and can make things for people in a prototyping environment or that thing you need for your blind system, car. Parts that are broken, we can recreate those.
Now, do you also sell 3D printers?
A few.
Okay,
Only those that we know work.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't work. I mean, now you can get them. You can get them for $140 on Amazon. For goodness sakes! I mean, it's so weird how much this technology has taken off. So, Deborah, in your store, you actually do printing for people.
I do.
That's cool.
And I repair printers. So if you grabbed one of those printers during the pandemic and you got it home and it didn't work or it doesn't work, bring it in. We repair those.
Okay. So what can you do for this guy? What do you do as far as prototyping?
It runs the gamut. We have full-time designers here, so if someone comes in, we can either, depending on what the project is, 3D scan it to get a model. We can create a model. We work directly with different people. We're also very careful about protecting IP, intellectual property rights of individuals. And they bring their idea in, and then we create it for them and print it for them.
Yeah, but this is all
they actually can hold it.
His is all technology-based. You guys don't help with the design of the app, do you?
No, she's talking about prototyping maybe the motor or the cinching device.
We could. We'd take a look at what it is and the drawings and then decide if it's printable. And we have a lot more materials than we had even a couple years ago. So you'd be shocked at the kind of materials we have that can replace metal parts and can do a lot of important jobs.
Now, for prototyping, for example, a lot of people do use plastic, for example, just to show the inner workings, but obviously the end product would be something else. But it does show the movement, the relationship of the gears to the levers and all of that. So I think that's a cool idea. So do you find that a lot of people are using the 3D printing route for prototyping?
Absolutely. And those first iterations before they go to market and or for low-run production.
Okay.
Remember, it will cost a little bit more, but where is it being made?
Now, and you do a lot of proof of concept, I imagine. So where are you located? Are there a number of stores or is there just one?
There's one here in the metro area. We're at the north end of Centennial Airport.
North end of Centennial Airport. So are you right on the airport property?
We are at the very north end of it. That's correct. Just past that big sports bubble that you might have seen on South Peoria before you get to the airport.
Okay, I imagine if they put it in their GPS, it would come up. And then what's your phone number? What's your phone number?
The phone number for the store is 720-443-3733.
That's pretty cool. Thank you for calling. That's the 3D printing store. I'm going to drop by. I love that stuff. My son and I do some of that. We have a 3D printer. The 3D printing store, 720-443-3733, 720-443-3733 for prototyping and other projects. So that's pretty cool. Now, for Martin, again, Martin, you know, I'm not into discouraging people or anything. I promise you. I think your biggest challenge right now, before you do anything, I said you get idea, you do proof of concept, meaning how it's going to be done. Then you do end user and feasibility or need. And that is where we were discussing it. For example, a truck driver, he's not going to buy this because he's a driver. An owner-operator usually has a tractor, and he's not going to bring a cinching system along and use it because it's not going to give him any more business than if he didn't. The trailer owners, I don't know, would they invest in this? And if so, do they demand higher prices? And would shippers say, oh yeah, I want to go with the trailers with the auto cinching device? Or do shippers, of course, they ship with whoever's available? I don't know. In other words, what I'm asking you, Martin, is who is your end user or saying you don't have an end user? I think maybe individuals who have boats and pickup trucks and carry stuff of their own, or possibly moving companies. Can you think of end users, Mark? Can you think of end users like who would really invest in it? I'm not saying people could use it. Everyone could use it. But who would take the step of investing, of buying these things and saying, now we have the advantage?
I don't know. Maybe Airplane. Maybe United when they have a lot of...
I don't know.
I don't
Dan,
know.
do you know? Jamie, do you know? Anybody have an idea of who would be an end user with something like this? I don't know.
I do,
Martin,
Tom.
Go ahead.
I do. The end user, basically, this is the way that you perceive this for the end user. If you start with just the commercial trucking industry, straight up flatbeds only, the trucking company that owns the trailers themselves, they can utilize this, the ARSS, the low tech, in order to get more business due to the concept that they will have a safer transport.
No, I get it. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah. So you go to the trucking industry, to people who own a lot of trailers. I get it. But will they truly be willing to invest in that in order to advertise or to have a leg up? And would it give them a leg up? Would a shipper choose this company because of that auto cinching device?
And then what happens, though? So the driver that shows up to pick up that load that has this on there from the trailer manufacturer, you sit down and you train him on the app. He's got to download it. I mean, what happens if he doesn't know a damn thing about it?
No, the company itself. You'll have the drivers in the company. The company itself shows the drivers. They have the app.
But you're assuming that most trucking industries are totally vertical. They own the drivers, the trucks, the trailers, and everything.
It could be perfect for a company like Walmart.
Yeah, something like
some of those companies, yes.
Yeah.
Some of those companies, yes. But even so, even if it's a company that, because you do have companies that shuttle other trailers locally to different offices that they lease out to outsource to another driver.
Well, listen.
Now that driver there can even if they don't have the app and they're traveling it, they would revert back to just utilizing, because you could still do it manually.
Here's what we're doing.
Well.
Here's what you're doing, and this is what you have to do, Martin. And this is the benefit of calling the show. You are blowing no's. That's what you have to do. You have to get past all of the no's because there are a ton of them. And then you have to find that end user and get testimonials.
And the biggest thing he doesn't know is cost. What does this cost?
Yeah. So, well, that's where I said.
You go to Walmart and say, here, I have this idea, but I have no idea how much it'll cost.
That's why I said first was the idea. Second was the prototyping and proof of concept. third is end user commitment. If you don't have end user, you have nothing. You will get no one interested. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey.
You gotta have somebody like Walmart that owns their own truck.
You need an
You know,
expert by your
how
side.
often do your load shift and this would save you money? They might tell you, fuck it, never. But they don't.
Right.
I just don't see.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't
Advice on
see
solutions like XPS
Hold
13
on,
powered by
Alex.
Intel
Hold
Evo
on,
platform. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
I will keep them to a minute each. All right, real estate is something we deal with all the time on this show. You'd be surprised how many people could have avoided all of their problems had they had an attorney who specializes in real estate. That's what we have right here. We use as our expert. Okay, O'Brien Legal Services. That's olslaw.com. Brad O'Brien and his team, they specialize, they emphasize real estate closings, loan doc reviews, especially like unmarried couples buying homes, or a seller financing a home, or you just need some kind of dispute settlement on a property line, a fence line, easements, access, adverse possession. There are a million times you need an attorney. Just call them. They're only a few $100 compared to the hundreds of thousands that you have at risk. OS, that stands for O'Brien Legal Services. olslaw.com. 720-370-7388. So many people want to buy wholesale. Hey, can you get it for me at wholesale? Do you know who knows a guy? I know a guy. Granite Liquidators. I know these people. They sell to the public at wholesale, and it's for everyone. Here's what I love about Granite Liquidators. You can get any stone for your project at wholesale. Truly wholesale. Now, here's the deal. Whether it be granite, quartzite, marble, or other slabs, you walk the yard, you pick out the slab. You may say, honey, this part's great for the counters, and this part for the backsplash, and we can use that for the vanity. You actually get to see the entire slab or two. They put your name on what you buy and store it there until your contractor picks it up or your fabricator. It's all consumer-centric. Wholesale prices to you. They store it for you. You pick your stone first and decorate around it. GraniteLiquidators.com.
And the other thing, you should go get stats for how many loads actually do shift like that. You can flip the truck.
He didn't do his nose job. That's all. He didn't do his nose job.
What about the military? When they do a lot of oddball things, like tanks and jeeps and
Any flatbed. I mean, oil industry does a lot.
Look,
tubing.
we had it. I'm going to talk about it. It's just, again, end user. I've had so many people come to me and they couldn't find it. There's no end user to be found. Wonderful idea, no end user.
No, absolutely. And that's his biggest issue. Actually, he's got every issue.
How many times have we, no, really, we have helped so many people with I had a guy once that I hooked up with the Orange Glow people, and he made a good, he was doing great. He was great. Then I had guys I sent to him, and Max would tell me, Tom, there's nothing here. I mean, it's amazing. He had a formula he would do. Of course, his systems now are old hat because he used to do everything with infomercials and stuff. A lot of that's dying. But, oh my God, it's to see a genius who's done products before, the process they go through.
That will gladly pay the commission, so you can sell your home with full service.
I'm trying to think. I've helped people, but I have never personally launched a product, like invented something or designed it and launched it.
We haven't launched it, but that's not true.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, you're right. Yeah.
Fucking $250,000.
No, it'll be a rock and roll.
What about your credit card thing, where you were?
That's not a product. That's just selling.
You mean our process
service?
Yeah, we're doing that.
Okay.
It's making money.
But that's not something we invented.
No.
So this whole CBD thing, Tom, went through that whole process. So we started with an idea. back in 2017. So
with what?
We started with an idea about with cannabidiol. So everything you see on the website right now looks at that entire process.
Okay, but CBD in and of itself, that industry was well on its way, right?
Mm-hmm. Not when we started.
Because it wasn't legal, right?
You guys were the first in the space?
No, we weren't the first in the space. That it wasn't legal in 2017, but we had to go through all that whole process.
And you were one of the first in the space.
Yeah.
So did Leslie, are you talking pre-Leslie when the previous company?
Leslie was a board member from the previous company.
And you were part of that previous company? Leslie bought that company, right?
Correct.
And didn't she first find the company because of her mom? Don't talk about the trade secrets right now.
It's a trade secret, but it's
okay.
We're always on it.
I'm Tom Martino. You're
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I had a guy one time that came to me and he said, Tom, I have a great idea for a shaker box for popcorn. You know when you get popcorn at the theater? It's true. You get popcorn at the theater and they put butter on it, but the butter's not through and through. And even if they do put it, they layer the butter. You never really get butter through and through. And then the salt, you put it on the top. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. How do you season and butter your popcorn? So here's what he said. I got an idea. So you got this box, Tom. And what it does is you put your ingredients in it, and you close the box and shake it, and then open it. It's easier to eat your popcorn. It's easier to have blended salt and butter or whatever else you put in it, garlic or cheese. And I said, okay, cool. That would be convenient. It's way more convenient than a bag and way more convenient than one of those big cups. But I said, it would increase the cost per unit or decrease the profit, and that profit's huge in theaters. And who would invest in this? Why would a theater say, I'm going to give you a more convenient experience with your popcorn because I know that you're going to come to our theater because you're going to want our boxes? No, of course not. So why would they invest in it? They wouldn't. I mean, would they say, hey, here's boxed popcorn, it's a dime more or 5 cents more? Unboxed is less. I mean, would people go for the extra 5 cents or 10 cents? Possibly. What about consumers? Would they bring a box with them to dump their popcorn in to blend it?
You're assuming it's 5 or 10 cents. I mean, that's would be a lot more.
Maybe, or cheaper, right? Just a box? I don't know. If it's reusable.
I think it would take longer to prep. You got 20 people in line.
No, you're right. Now, it would be the consumer prepping it at that point. You would say, you know where you go over and you press the button and the butter comes out, but you would have it would be in a box. And I'm not talking about the old-fashioned popcorn box. I'm talking about a mixing box, like a box with room in it. So when you do put the butter in it and you do put the salt, there's room to shake it and still have. Well, the point is this. Good concept. Who's the end user? Now, there might be people who like it. I like the idea of having that, but I wouldn't take a box with me to the theater, and I certainly wouldn't pay more for that box. Neither would a theater. Neither would a popcorn manufacturer. Who would? You don't have an end user.
We've got some great calls over the years. How about the guy that wanted to make a breast that you could actually wear as a man?
Right.
He was the same guy that wanted to do a shaker on the window to make it look like it was snowing.
But the man, the breast, no, I think the man boob for nursing a kid, that was not his. His was different. The man boob for nursing a kid, where you strap it around your neck and it looks like a boob, and no, that is already out. People use it. It's not like just.
Did you use it?
It's not. No, it's not setting sales on fire either. But here's the other thing. What he was talking about is something, a bottle for adults that for lonely men that have the shape of a nipple, of a woman's nipple. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even want to get into it. John, what is your comment on marketing? Go ahead, sir. What is your comment?
Well, you've pulled into gas stations and seen them sitting up there advertising their wax chip control, where they take the chip out of your windshield while you're sitting there. This guy puts a prototype together, goes to any truck stop across America, and he can get it out just as quick. He doesn't have to go to the major corporations. But he can start that way.
When he goes to a truck stop, though, when he goes to a truck stop, think it through. Will a driver say, oh, yeah, I'll take 1 or 3 for my trailer? It's not his trailer.
Surprised.
What?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, but he doesn't
It's not even his trailer.
And find some of the craziest stuff inside a truck stop that people will pick up. This
Lot
guy's got it
lizards.
set
Yeah,
up.
no, of course they will, John. Of course they will pick up things for themselves. I know what you're saying, but this is an automated cinching system for a trailer. First, he has to have a
All
trailer.
you got to do is show a video of it and show a prototype of what it does. People
He's saying you can sell anything
John,
at a truck stop.
he doesn't own the trailer. 99% of the drivers don't own what they're driving or pulling. Okay, so now you got to find someone who owns their own trailer, then who wants to pay for that because he believes, okay, it might make his job easier. It will. It doesn't. It's not so much about making more money or making it safer even. It does make his job easier. So you're right, John. If there are people who own their own trailers, they would buy it at truck stops. But I don't think there's that many. Are there? Am I wrong? We have a lot of truck drivers who listen. Not a lot of people own their own rigs. Some of them own their own tractors. Some don't. But very few own their actual trailers themselves. So, look, I hope Martin doesn't feel like, we spanked him and sent him away. But I don't understand. I think it's his job, not mine, to find the end user. But don't just find someone who says it's a great idea. Do you know why, Martin? Because it is a great idea. Just like the popcorn box. But find out someone who will actually put an order in for 100 of them. Find out someone who can see the benefit of buying them. And before you do that, you first have to run a prototype, and you first have to get a price per unit prediction. That's what you have to do. Now, on CBD products, no fooling, I'm not kidding. CBD oil, I've often said this, Dr. Jamie Baumgarten, I've said CBD is CBD is CBD. You all get to the oil, right? Is that whatever I call it, what am I talking? The main part of the CBD you get to is what? What is it called?
Well, CBD is a chemical compound.
Well, obviously, but
right.
The CBD itself, when you render it down to that oil, what is it called?
You can actually get it as an oil that's extracted from the plant, or we can actually go through further refinement to turn it into pure CBD powder.
Okay. But this is the basis of all CBD products, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so if it comes from nature, isn't CBD from Panacea Life the same as CBD from someone else? And I'm really asking that if CBD is natural.
CBD is natural. It's
right.
one of 150 cannabinoids found in the industrial hemp plant.
Sure. So is it distillate? What do they call the end result?
Distillate.
Distillate.
Right.
Is your distillate different than someone else's?
Yes, in terms of the quality control that we actually use to produce that particular ingredient.
Will that CBD be substantially different?
It can be substantially different in terms of its purity.
Okay. And what, if it's not pure, would it have in it that you don't want?
Oh, geez. Pesticides.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Okay.
Residual solvents.
Would yours be considered organic?
Yes.
Okay, well, that in itself tells me something. So there could be other negative things in other kinds of CBD.
So if we take a step back, the hemp plant itself is a phytoremediator. Okay, so if you plant it in the soil, it will soak up everything that's in that soil, pesticides, fertilizers.
Okay.
They're using hemp plants to actually clean up Chernobyl.
So a lot of CBD people, they buy the plants and then do the process. Like they have tons of growers.
Yep.
They don't control their growers. But then you guys, you truly are seed to sale.
Seed to sale.
Okay,
seed to shelf.
So that's the point. I just needed to make a distinction because I always have people ask me, Tom, if it's a plant, then it's a plant. But you made the distinction because it's seed to sale and it's based on purity. So anyway, we also have other things to talk about, so hang on.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4.
She emailed what? We're kind of done with. I'm listening.
Impact traffic.
Yeah, Martin.
So is your farm up and running? Did you have like 120 acres or something? 250.
Okay. So I'll look at it.
So it's isolated.
For some reason, your voice is way low, along with the level of your voice. I can hear everything else great. I can hear him, but your voice.
Each acre is 2,000 pounds of biomass. That's a lot of biomass.
What do you do with your biomass?
We truck it back over to Golden and we extract it there. You guys done a tour at the you've done a tour, right? What? You've done a tour at the facility, right?
I'd like to.
If you guys want to,
it is really interesting. When you see, I saw the whole process.
When's a good time to do this? Okay. And I'd like to get one of my sons up here. I'd like to have his complete trip.
Anybody you guys?
I got it.
Before COVID, we were actually.
AImortgage.net is a website for affordable interest mortgage, where you can get mortgages which are jumbo, over $750,000. You can get FHA, you can get VA. You can get the liquid loan, which is a first deed of trust line of credit. And again, the liquid loan, I spend time explaining because it's revolutionary, and I think it's the best loan product there is, because nothing is forcing you to take extra money, but it's there for emergencies, and you don't pay for that extra money until you use it. But here's the other part. Let's say you have $250,000 on this line of credit, right? That's your total balance. Now let's say you have $50,000 in a savings account. For as long as that $50,000 is in the savings account, it subtracts from the $250,000, which makes your mortgage lower. It's totally liquid. Every dime you have counts against your balance. Whenever you take the money out, then you pay interest on it. It's wonderful. The liquid loan, AImortgage.net, affordable interest mortgage. Now, let's talk about Mile High Estate Planning. Do you know what that is right now? Mile High Estate Planning is Blake Harris Law. Blake Harris Law, he does estate planning. Everyone needs an estate plan. I mean everyone. And then you update it through the years. And that's what I've done, and that's what most people do. And if you use Blake Harris, you can call and ask questions when things change. You can ask for advice, and he doesn't charge for each and every conversation. That's why he has the number 833-ASK-BLAKE. He wants you to ask questions. He even has a TikTok channel or video, and you can go there and ask Blake, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Here's the point. He charges only flat rates for what he actually does for you, whether it's a will, whether it's a trust, maybe a beneficiary's deed, whatever you need. BlakeHarrisLaw.com.
If you are looking for an affordable vehicle, or
you just want to trade your car,
what are we looking at, Mark?
We have to wait till
4 million people quit their job last month.
They actually quit.
Didn't you read the fucking headline?
No, I've seen 9.3.
Well, here's the point, though.
Jobs I didn't see.
Here's the point. But there's more and more talk about universal income.
Yes.
How can that concept even be contemplated? Universal income.
And that fell apart in USSR a while back, so I've been applying that.
Well, even them, I'm like what's her name? Who's the New York AOC? She wanted to, even if you didn't work.
No, of course, that's what I'm talking about.
But
it's not unemployment. It's everyone deserves an income. Everyone.
Or you become like Britain in Dr. Anger's box, and they would do. Check out Blue Sky.
So, you guys have hard time getting employees?
Can you hear me like this?
That's 40% off the board. And I promise you this, you won't be Blue Sky CBD at Blue Sky CBD.
They don't show up on the first day.
Yeah, it's weird. The work ethic for days you. Wow.
No, I've heard that and stuff. Also, is that they figure if they don't feel too good or whatever, don't want to go in, they don't go in.
Yeah. So the work ethic for a majority of younger people these days is not very good.
Well, my son works for telecommunications. Yeah, project manager. You can't get people to work because they all want to work from home, and the higher ups in the company want them to work 2 weeks in the office and 2 weeks at home, and he said the kid, he's 35, so the people that he would be hiring want to be totally remote.
So I'll tell you this: it's going to get outrageous. In March 15th of last year, I was majority of my work I don't need to do in the office. They said you need to stay at home and work. And then Leslie said, hey, COVID's basically over. You need to come back to the lab. And I'm kind of going, I'm not very good right now. I was appreciate my job responsibility more than going to work. I enjoy that interaction. But I can be more productive, believe it or not, sitting at home. I mean, the workload that I've got is pretty large. And the scope in terms of what I do is pretty wide. So from that standpoint, I think all of America and the rest of the world is facing this.
The same
work from home.
Yeah, and it depends on what you do. I know before I went to medical school,
smart asses out there.
Programmer analyst in the stock exchange, they would say, okay, we need this done in 3 weeks. We don't care when you work, just get it done. And of course, we had to come in at night because they couldn't shut down the stock exchange to let us run our test program. So we could do it. We could write the systems, but then we have to test it at night.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. SaferNet will save you money by simply protecting you. Let me give you an idea. If any of these pipelines or other municipalities had SaferNet, they could have saved millions of dollars because it would not allow ransomware to operate effectively, even if it managed to get on the system. That is a certainty if you use SaferNet the way it's made to be used, and that is to run in the background all the time. And it only costs a couple dollars per device, whether it's your tablet, your laptop, your desktop. Listen, don't passively listen to this. Go to safernet.com and download it. I have it on all my devices. You can simply have it run in the background, and it could save your bacon. I mean, on viruses and everything. Do you realize the pipeline would have saved $4 million because they wouldn't have been subject to this hack? That's right. That's right. With a safernet.com. I can't say it enough. Safernet.com. In fact, I wonder if they called these guys to tell them, put this on your device right now, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Put it on your pipeline. SaferNet.com. Okay. I want to speak to Albertus about his basketball camp. We all talk about problems. We love talking about problems. Albertus, he will speak about problems when there's problems, but at least he's doing something in his community to make things better. Every year he does these basketball camps. I love them. I've been there. I talk to the kids. What he's doing is giving a positive reinforcement to positive behavior, giving them something to increase their self-image and their confidence. Albertus, how long you been doing it, man? How long? I love helping out. How long you been doing it?
15 years, Tom. This will be our 15th year. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I do this every year because I'm a real believer in it. It's action. It's not just talking. So you get kids to sign up. How old are they?
The age groups are 7 to 18.
And tell me what goes on a typical day or a typical week.
Right. This for 2 weeks, Tom, we have life skills in the morning. Where people come in from the banking industry, they come in from construction. Hazel Phelps will be there, and we have black business women that are going to come and talk about becoming an entrepreneur. So we have the life skills in the morning talking about. We got mental health people coming to help our young people think through problems, and then in the afternoon. After lunch, because we feed them breakfast in the morning, we feed them lunch in the afternoon, and then after lunch we do the basketball skills, which all the kids love that.
Of course.
But what I love most about my camp is the life skills.
Yeah.
Because they be able to carry those on with them throughout life.
You know what I love about it? You teach kids to respect and obey their parents.
Absolutely.
You talk
about the principles, Tom.
You talk about the
principles we got.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk
No, go ahead. You're doing a better job. Go ahead.
Thank you. We got those 5 principles, and I've added a 6th one, but I'll tell you real quick what they are. The 5 principles are love, respect, self-esteem, self-respect, discipline, and now we've added pride, because our kids need to feel good about themselves. And if they feel good about themselves, then they'll feel good about others. So, you know, we're working, man. We're out here. We're trying to make a difference. Oh, and this year, Tom, I wanted to tell you that for the first time, we're going to have a basketball game between my campers and the police officers in Denver / Aurora, the community, but against the police. I wanted to do that. A lot of people may be upset behind that, but I want to do it because I want to engage the police and young people in a positive way, so that when they see them on the street, they don't just beat them down or whatever, and something negative happens. Let something positive happen. Speak to the police officer. Don't be afraid. And the police officers, don't you be afraid of our young black and brown kids. And so at the end of the day, it's about relationships, and that's what we're trying to build. And that's why June 24th, we're going to have that basketball game. And also, I wanted to say that posthumously, I'm giving 2 community awards to 2 icons of the African-American community, John McBride and Landry Teller from Forest City, Stapleton. And so they were very supportive of the camp, but they have since passed on. And we want to recognize them and say thank you for their work. So, you know, Tom, and I want to thank you also for being one of our sponsors, for being a gold sponsor. You're there. You know, you're there with your money, you're there with your time, you're there with your energy, and I certainly appreciate it.
Hey, I got a question for him. Yeah. I want your true input, man. I respect your opinion big time. What do you think of this Tate Anderson deal in the Denver School Board?
I don't know. Hold on. I want to just say something. Hold on. Albertus came to talk about his basketball camp, and I want to make sure that before anyone tunes out, he's talking about all this positive stuff with the kids, and I want to give a number, and I want to tell people how they can contribute. Then I'll just get his opinion as someone who's out in the community about this other thing. But first, let me do this. So I want to know, where do people contribute if they want to help this basketball camp? And Albertus, I'll attest to the fact that this money is put to use for these kids. So where do they go to contribute or to help out?
Okay, they can go to SimmonsFoundationFYC.org. And SimmonsFoundationFYC.org. Okay. Yes. Tom, let me just say this. We are a 501c3 organization, so it's a tax write-off for those who want to help. And let me say, you can also put us up on Secretary of State. We are in good standing with the state, and we are a 501c3. We're doing things the right way, the best that we can. Nobody's perfect. Right. The best that we can.
Now that's Simmons Foundation FYC.org. And then, and if you need any more information, you can always contact me, and I'll get in touch with Albertus. That's Simmons Foundation FYC.org. Now, we would love to hear how you feel about this. You know, I kind of get the feeling that for some reason Tate Anderson is getting a pass from local media, but that shouldn't surprise us. Local media sucks. It always has. Well, no, it hasn't always sucked, but in recent history.
There's like 60 allegations or something outrageous.
Well, look, you know as well as I do, certain people get passes, certain people don't. Governor Cuomo, he got a pass. Yep. You know, people get away with stuff. I don't know why. Mayor. If he wants to comment, I'd love to have him comment. I'll give another plug to the foundation and more coming up. 303-713-TALK.
630 KHAL on iHeartRadio.
So I'm going to confuse you, because sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. So I'm going to really try to do it. Both, you know, going into break and after.
You couldn't find it?
I'm going to really.
No, I found it.
Yeah, I'm really going to try. Yeah. Because, you know. Yeah.
I'm going to calm down a little bit.
It's not so important. I'm still going to do it when Ants gets on board, even though it's not so important with him because he's on it.
Jamie, do you plant other things there if you don't have enough to, you just let it follow?
We just let it fallow, or we're also doing some exploratory strains. So it's all the daily genetics. Crossbreeding,
You gotta keep them apart.
So they're all feminized plants. So there's no males that actually would.
So all your seeds, I was going to ask that. How do you feminize seeds? We talked about that.
So you stress the shit out of the plant. And through different conditions,
financing.net. NMLS 12334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
If you're in a car accident and you need information, I'm serious about this. You get free legal advice when you need it the most from John Fuller, Fuller Law. He's a personal injury attorney. That means he handles these cases day in and day out, and he will talk to you free of charge, and he doesn't even pressure you to sign up with him. He'll tell you what he thinks about the case and what it's worth. Here's the point. If you do hire him, there is no out-of-pocket either, because he will work on contingency, which means he only collects a portion of what he collects for you. John Fuller, 303-597-4500, 597-4500. Countertops can make or break a whole kitchen. And what I love about the Art of Granite is that's their specialty. And they are so proud of what they do. They give prices on the phone. That is so rare. But he'll do it. Mitch Floria and his team know that it's pretty predictable because they charge wholesale for materials. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom vanity free when you do the kitchen. So really, they're giving you a price on fabrication and installation above the wholesale price of material. So get them a call, get a price on the phone. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement?
I'm trying.
So you spray your plants with Portal Silver, and then it forces them to.
I'm dying to see what he says.
Pretty straightforward.
Gotcha.
Somewhere in here there'd be.
And then when you, I imagine the cross-pollination, you got to keep them apart.
Yeah, you have to you do have the greenhouse.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Because
62 people.
Pollens travel.
62 allegations against
Oh
you.
my God!
There's not enough nectar.
I say for
the bees.
so they do the natural.
The pollen off
61 were either undocumented immigrants or recipients of deferred action.
Field 5 to 10 miles away.
Oh my God!
So part of the your answer about your question about the farm.
Violent acts of rape.
We'll
Said the
probably
youngest.
40 acres next year. Okay. Or excuse me, this season. So they've already
One
planted.
of the finest companies I know excel roofing. The way they do business, the ownership, and the management from the top down, they believe in excellence.
So you don't ever want to plant something else that can keep it apart, or you don't want to use all your acres and stuff all the time.
Contract or saying
Well,
we'll
the
take care
other
of
thing
what
we're
your
doing
insurance
is,
will take care of. When it
that
comes to
we're
roofing,
looking for
they believe you need to be fully informed, so they give you a full
processes.
contract
So
with
when we
everything that
extract
needs to be
the
done, and then they will fight with your
all the
insurance company
biomass
to
is
get
sent
what
to
you need
Vancouver.
if it comes to that.
It's sent
And
to
then
where?
you don't pay
Oh, okay. So that was my other question.
to get them on the job and finish
So
that
it still has
job.
nutrients in it to
Only
other
one
avenues. So
percent
to get dairy farmers to do that.
That or don't they so make something out of like clothing and stuff? Mark?
Different
That's Mark? Can you get a refund on your top golf?
No. So you guys can go and use that.
You can't get a refund?
No, but why don't you guys go and use it?
Mark, why? You're going to be out of town, man?
Yeah, I'll be in California.
Oh,
Wearing 3 masks.
Seed the plant to turn into our material and then turn that back when using compost to go back to the farm.
Yeah, I don't get back till late, man. I don't fly out of there till like 8 o'clock, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
You guys should go, you and Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first, I got 2 hours. You have to when you reserve. You have to have 2 hours.
Yeah.
They make you pay for one of them.
Okay. Right. That's why I like 1 hour. Like I said, you can use the whole thing. I'll see if my son wants to join us. He'd enjoy that.
You know what? See if Dan's kid will come.
Yeah.
He's probably up at. No, wait, he might be out on summer now, right? Your kid?
No, he's working.
No, for night, for a Top Golf though. Next week. Well, okay, what, he doesn't have a car, he can't drive, there's no bus, there's not a taxi, not an Uber, not an airplane, not a fucking shuttle of any service.
Maybe Tom's helicopter comes.
I guess he wants your son to go golf.
He tells me I'm working late at night till on equations and stuff till I can sleep.
And I wrote letters
on equations.
So this is a big problem.
Tell me what happened. What was your
7,000 acres registered plant. Each acre actually produces 2,000 pounds. Okay, that's the average grow.
Right.
That's 170 million pounds of biomass. If all it's grown, 170 million pounds is being sent to that.
Well, shouldn't at the very least they can turn it in, dry it, and turn it into like pressed logs or something?
So you could turn it into wood pellets. I mean, it's all kinds of things you can do, right?
But it's cheaper just to throw it in the landfill.
But don't forget, all that hemp is reducing our carbon footprint.
I'm gonna tell you.
Absolutely. That's a whole nother issue. It's like carbon credits and things like that.
Yeah.
It's,
the more plants you have, the less carbon dioxide you're producing.
Right, as long as you can use the product and water.
No, if you plant hemp,
just in terms of fixing carbon into
yeah,
okay.
you're reducing CO2 because they use CO2 and they emit oxygen.
Hi, Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We got plenty of room for calls. By the way, we have another 2 hours to go now. Alverta Simmons is on. He's talking about his basketball camp, what he does, and he instills these 5 principles to kids. I love this basketball camp. Simmons Foundation, FYC.org. If you want to help out, this is someone actually doing something rather than just, talking about problems. Now, Alvertus, quickly, go over those 5 principles. I love them. What are they?
Okay, Tom, they're love, self-respect, self-esteem. Okay, love, respect, self-esteem, self-respect, discipline, and we've added pride.
Okay.
To the list.
We appreciate that. And I want to say Simmons Foundation, FYC.org. Now, Mark asks a question, and again, I want you to take your community hat off on that one, but just put on your, whatever you think. You've been listening. Tay Anderson, for those listening, is a young man who was elected to the school board, and he's been quite vocal about things, and I thought, up till a few weeks ago, a good example of having self-respect and self-discipline and doing something positive. Let's face it, he got on the school board. I didn't think he, I mean, it's a good thing for young black guys to see, hey, look at this. So what happened, Mark, that you wanted him to comment on?
Well, 62 allegations everywhere from
impropriety?
Yeah.
Sexual impropriety.
Well, yeah, you can call it that way, or as some as the young people call it, flat-out rape.
All right. What do you think? I mean, have you been following this along?
Yeah. I followed a little bit of it. I think Tay. First of all, it saddens me to hear that young brother's going through that kind of situation. Number one. Number two. You don't have 62 allegations and nobody steps up. No physical person comes out and says, "Hey, this is what happened to me." Because when you make these kind of allegations like sexual assault or whatever they're deeming it, that can ruin somebody's career forever. That can ruin your life forever. And so at the end of the day, they got to be certain about what. So I feel sad for him, and then I don't agree with him on a lot of the things that he does. But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't agree with me. I get that. But I've worked through it. I've earned the right to be where I am. And he's got to earn the right to be where he is. But at the end of the day, it comes from hard work. It doesn't come from, a rally or a protest or showing up, and trying to, scream.
So what do you think? Do you think, when you said, you made a comment, you don't get 60 allegations without at least one person coming forward with details. Are you saying they're baseless accusations?
At this point, I would say yes, unless the police know something that we don't know. The public
Mark, what he's saying is there's no one with concrete evidence.
It's so hard for me to believe that 60+ people would come forward with everything from unwanted touching to violent acts of rape.
And by the way,
why?
And by the way, his accusers many of his accusers
undocumented.
Are many of his what are you talking about undocumented?
A lot of them are undocumented.
Oh, you mean
they're here illegally? They're undocumented.
Oh! I didn't know what you meant. Okay,
yeah,
they're
afraid to go to the police. Socially correct.
Are a lot of them from the black community? I wonder.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know either. Okay.
What were you saying though, man?
Go ahead, Alvarez.
Mark, did I hear you just say that a lot of his accusers are undocumented workers?
Yes, that's what it says in the article I'm reading.
Okay, sure. I didn't know.
All right, now, by the way,
their parents, I guess.
Hold on. I have to take this break. And Albertus, I'd love to have your comments because I actually haven't gotten a comment from you, and I don't want to interrupt you. Plus, we'll go back to other calls, 303-713-TALK.
So he is saying, did he quit? Did he step down?
No.
No, that's the part that's unbelievable.
He said he would do is not go to the meetings. Or not go to the school. But you know what? Not go to the school. I don't want to pick on Alberta, so what does hard work and dedication have to do
They stated that a
with
single
anything?
person who is active has assaulted 60 undocumented students. They also claim this individual is using students to target them. There are also claims that the public schools attempted to cover this up. Public schools will never have minor signs.
She said 61 of the young people were either undocumented immigrants or recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program.
But you know what? Alberta's a typical community worker. He won't answer the question.
No, he actually stuttered on it.
But he
literally.
He diverted it by saying. But he diverted by saying hard work and dedication. What's hard work and dedication have to do with allegations of sexual misconduct?
I don't know. Hey, listen, man, nothing has been proven. There's no doubt.
No.
But the hard part is putting the burden on the women that are bringing this forward.
In most cases, they don't.
So.
60. If it was 4 or 5 people,
that'd be different.
Well, no, it's still crazy. But I mean, 60 people. What are the fucking chances? 60 people got together. Now, if they didn't range from a young age to now, you got to assume they all know each other and they're all going after this guy for a reason. If it's bogus,
I don't know, like this guy here.
What?
Hey, Anderson.
Yeah.
For several weeks.
Is he a bad? I don't know anything about him.
I know nothing about him. I just heard Ross talking about him this morning and 9 News and Fox and everybody.
He says they're all unsubstantiated.
You know who said that for years and years and years, and now he's doing the rest of his natural life in prison. He would slip drugs to women.
Well, not
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby.
No, but
he had like 15, 20 women, and he somehow beat them all down for years.
The producer. Who's he again?
Epstein.
Oh, Epstein.
No.
Not Epstein is the worst.
Weinstein.
Oh,
How about Deshaun Watson?
What's that?
Deshaun Watson.
Who's that?
The quarterback for the Texans.
Oh, I didn't even read about that one.
Oh, geez, because Denver wanted to actually try and make a play for him.
Right. And this all came out?
Oh, right when he was going free agent and wanted to be traded from Houston.
What are the allegations?
He says I'm stepping back from my everyday board functions.
Yeah, but he's still mows and shit.
Right. He just doesn't. They don't let him out of school.
No one is safe.
It's just impossible to believe that 60 girls, we're not even talking like adults, 60 kids would lie.
As young as 14.
And they all just happen to be in a position where they could be afraid to be kicked out of the country.
If there's 60 kids, I mean, that is weird.
No, but everybody, why are these community leaders in Denver standing up for them? It's fucking crazy. I was, honest to God, I was not going to fucking say that. 60 kids would say, why would Alberta say 60 kids would lie?
I don't think he said that. He said he didn't. He said not one of them has come forward with evidence or
well, what's that 12-year-old going to do? Hey, give me your DNA? Excuse me.
No. Listen. Let's ask him what he meant. He did not say they're lying. I didn't hear him say
okay, you're right. He did not say they're lying. He did not.
He's a good-looking young man. I mean, he looks like a good guy. I mean, I know that doesn't mean anything, but that's too bad.
60,
you know he wants to do
62 people, Tom.
We also provide an award-winning customer experience.
Yeah, he's got an ongoing kind of a spat.
All gender.
The youngest person who came forward was 14 14 years old.
T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.
I'll tell you what, they find some video, they find some shit of this happening. DPS is going to be in a world of fucking shit protecting him like this.
Oh, he sits during the Pledge of Allegiance.
Who?
Tay Anderson. He says he sits during it. As a black man, I am reminded every day of the injustices. I am remaining seated.
No, it's really too bad.
Has the mayor said anything? Has he
Do you
came
want me
out?
to stick till 2?
Huh?
Do you want me to stick around?
Yeah, of course, because I didn't get to enough. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, you didn't read about the John Watson?
No, I didn't.
Didn't you what?
I'll tell you, man, I have a hard time watching national news. I have a hard time.
I understand.
I do too.
I don't.
It's all
I
fucking
really
propaganda.
Well, you could just do a quick top 5 topics that are set from a couple different news sources.
That's a good idea, actually. No, so they all came forward. I mean, are they saying outright rape? Are they saying inappropriate?
He was hiring misogynist.
Yeah, but are the women saying he beat them up? I mean, I don't care if he goes to a hooker.
Non-permissive sex.
Oh. So, like literally, he's going into a massage parlor and
he's hiring a masseuse to come to his place.
And then he's kind of.
Who's that?
He wants a happy ending, as they would say.
Couple of him wants to be very happy.
So they're the ones that are coming forward, though. Right. Holy shit!
But see, you think
that's hard too because they're sex workers. No one. Well, no, they're not sex workers.
No, they weren't. But even that is. Because he's paying him, he's not rubbing him up.
How much do you pay the guy that comes and gives you a massage at your house? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Like the low talker. You bastard!
Yeah, okay.
So where's your puffy shirt, man?
I agreed to wear that. I agreed to wear
I guarantee you.
When? When I was in the bathroom.
If Tay Anderson was white, he'd be fired and there would be protests outside the school board, right?
Anybody that has that many accusations from children, I don't care if it's a woman.
No, but I'm just saying, if they were white, they would.
But no, look at how long that happened to for producers.
How about Cuomo? He just had 8 or 10.
The producers were adults.
Hey, Doc, if he was white, he'd probably be elected to be president.
8 to 10.
They were adults. There's a difference.
No, there's not. A lot of those girls came from whatever the casting couch.
You're talking about
years and years. I'm talking about more than Weinstein.
What about him? What's your Weinstein?
What do you mean? He basically forced women to do it to get apart.
So do you think in this Anderson thing that he's doing for a position of power, these illegal aliens or something? Or?
I had no idea.
That's the way they kind of. I think the articles were.
I have no idea why it would go that way. All right, what do we got going?
I don't think it matters.
And it shouldn't matter, but I can see why they wouldn't come forward.
Yes.
Take complaints. You know what I want to do? I want to make your life just a little bit better. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. This is the show for you. 303 Martino, by the way, works on and off the air, and help at Troubleshooter.com is our email. Tommy boy, where do you want to begin this beautiful hour?
I want to start with, okay, since you brought it up last hour, Tay Anderson is a school board member, Denver School Board, for the city at large, and he's had 60 allegations leveled against him.
From undocumented students.
That's what they say. And they say that he used his authority or his position to take advantage of them. But you asked what Albertus thought. Albertus Simmons was on to promote his basketball camp. And this came out of left field.
And honestly,
he wasn't prepared for this. But I still want him to comment. I don't think he said...
I'm asking you, too. 60-plus children come forward saying I was either touched inappropriately or he just outright, one said raped.
Mark, if truly there were 60 individual reports, truly, and that part's not made up, I don't think you can have multiple complaints without something being there. That you can't. Okay? Now, I think what Alberta said, I don't hear Alberta saying they weren't true. What I heard him saying is, out of the 60, he doesn't believe there was one that had actual details and evidence. Is that what you were saying, Albertus?
That's exactly what I said. We have to be fair with people, especially us that's in the public eye. You, Tom, Mark, all of us that are in the public eye. You have to be fair with us. And at the end of the day, it can't be about me too and just going and attacking people. If there's evidence that Tay did something wrong, then he has to pay for that. If there's no evidence, then they need to stop attacking that young man and move on. But we're not saying that those young ladies it didn't happen to them. I'm not saying that at all, because I don't know, I wasn't there. But at the end of the day, come forward with some concrete evidence so that this case can move forward. Don't demean the man and derail his career if these things are not true.
Okay, so that's his comment. I mean, he said, but I'm not sure what they do to substantiate their complaints.
What do you think that would be? What do you think that would be? I don't know what you do. How about if it was a 55-year-old white guy and this was happening? Honestly, what do you think?
No, Albertus, what would have to be done? You see, I know what you mean by substantiate or by details. I don't know what they may have given. A lot of details. I don't know. What I'm saying is, what is evidence? I mean, evidence is the fact that 60 people unrelated to each other
all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
They're all saying the same thing.
Well, that's evidence in and of itself, isn't it? When you have, I mean, you can't coordinate that many complaints.
That's exactly
hey, Tom,
right.
I have two words.
Yeah.
Due process. It's one of the foundations of our system.
Well, yeah, it is.
He's entitled to due process,
right.
But that should be done quickly and efficiently.
That's right.
So that it's not, if he's innocent, it shouldn't be hanging over his head. And if he's guilty, then he should pay for it.
There is teachers fired almost every day over alleged sex abuse where prosecutors never charge them with anything. That happens everywhere in this country in every district. Generally, no one would put up with that. It's just a fact, man.
Well, like I said, give him due process, get to the bottom of it.
And the due process is
to have these.
Okay, what's the investigation? It's interviewing to see about the credibility, right?
Exactly.
How about on leave with no duties and pay while everything's looked into then?
That's probably what should happen.
But anyway, here's the bottom line. I've not made myself really privy to all of this. I don't or even familiar with all of the issues. I really haven't. Due process means, obviously, there's not going to be evidence in these cases. There's no hard evidence. I mean, what is he going to, unless somebody recorded them on a cell phone, what you're going to have is their word against his. Now, if there's 60 truly giving times and dates and details, I would say, my God, you can't have that many without some, if they're unrelated, without some kind of problem there. There's got to be a problem.
62.
Now, I want to just put out a plug again, but Albertus, there's something called an SSL certificate, a security certificate on websites. And by the way, I just have to say this. It almost amounts to blackmail nowadays, Mark. If you don't pay that $600 a year for that certificate, your website is flagged as dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And it may not be dangerous. Now, I did a website outside of a referralist.com. I think it was for my magazine. I did a website, and I was flagged because I didn't go and get that certificate. So I went and got the certificate. So I just wanted to tell Albertus, when some people go to that on their browser, www.simmonsfoundationfyc.org. I tell people, go there if you want to help donate to a summer camp. It's really a great summer camp, and it's a basketball camp for kids, and he instills a lot of good principles of self-respect and respect for government, respect for parents, respect for police, respect for themselves and pride and all kinds of good, positive stuff.
I'd like to see Albertus run for mayor some. I'm not kidding when I say that.
But the website, by the way, Albertus, I need to tell you, is flagging that warning symbol for people. You need to look into the SSL certificate that... And
I was told that yesterday. I was told that by the guy who designed my website.
Yeah.
I don't understand that stuff.
Yeah, okay, I don't fully understand it, but what it is, Albertus, what it sounds like to me, it's blackmail. What they mean, they make you pay.
It encrypts it.
They make you pay an extra couple bucks a year, $600, I think it is, right, Mark?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you ever did any kind of credit cards or any kind of data, you don't want anybody having.
Right,
That's what it's there for.
So but what bothers me is the warning they put up says this site is suspected of, and they did that for me when I had that brand new site that wasn't even it wasn't suspected of anything. It was new, you know, and because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, make sure you get that certificate.
That was told to me yesterday.
Yeah,
that was just told me by the SSL. We're prepared to make that payment, whatever they're talking about, because we're good. But I just want to. I don't know. I don't understand it. So,
okay, but have your guy do it, or Albertus, if your guy can't do it, then contact me. We have people that can do it, and I'll help you out there. So it's Simmons Foundation, FYC.org. Okay, now we have Wally would like to help Clayton, who had his bike on the bus. Now here's what happened. The guy that Clayton had his bike on the front of the bus. You know, where you put it on the carrier, you get in the bus? What I don't understand is how it happened, but he said the wiper somehow interfered with the carrier, and it threw his bike off, and it got damaged. And the poor guy's just looking for help with the repair costs. He's not asking for major damages. And Clayton, somebody called in and wanted to help you. And you're kind of being ignored by this Metropolitan District. It's the Mountain Metro or whatever the hell they are. And Wally called in on his own. Wally.
Wait a minute. Who loaded it? I thought the passengers loaded their own bike.
They do. They
do.
Then
it would have to be his fault, right? He didn't load it right.
That's what I thought they would say, that you didn't secure it. Are they saying that, Clayton, or not?
I haven't heard a word from them.
There's been no communication from them, Tom. I did reach out to them, but in the meantime, Wally called.
Okay, but the hard part is this, okay? How does the windshield wiper do it? We can, I don't know. But if that's true, then there's a defect, and it wasn't his fault. But whether it's his fault or not, some guy called in and wants to help. Again, I'm going to go back to Wally. There was a lot of background noise. Wally, are you there?
I am, Tom. How are you?
Good, man, and I appreciate you calling. What is your take on this situation?
Well, I think it's for $80 trying to deal with a governmental agency, whether it's a bus or any of them, you'll just be brain dead over it, and I would just like to pay the $80 he's asking for.
Now, that's really nice. Very kind of you, Wally, and if you want to do it, we can make sure it gets paid directly and make sure it's done. We'll verify the story for you, and we appreciate your kindness. Have you ever tried dealing with a government agency, Wally?
I'm in the roofing business, so I'm pulling permits all the time, and right now with COVID, and I just had one with the city of Aurora. I'm doing a nonprofit building, tax exempt, and they still put taxes on the permit, and I paid it not realizing they'd done it, and I had to go through a supervisor to get it refunded, so I didn't, through the credit card, so I didn't have to wait for the stinking finance office to issue me a check in 2 months.
Wally,
and it was like I told them all up front, and they still just, they don't listen to you. They don't care. They're government employees.
That's the case. What's the name of your roofing company, out of curiosity?
It's Thunderstorm Roofing.
Thunderstorm. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's Thunderstorm Roofing. Wally, thank you for your kindness. We're going to hook you up with Clayton. And Clayton, wasn't that nice of him to try for helping you out?
Yes, I appreciate it.
And we're going to try still to get those guys if we can.
I like how that roofer said, basically,
to be responsible.
They're government employees. What do you expect?
Yeah, I know. Isn't it too bad some of us have come to think that?
It is.
You can win some comeback cash. All eligible Coloradans 18 years or older that receive at least one dose
do you have anything specific you want to talk about?
each week from now until July.
We've got a special phone up that I emailed Suzanne about.
Okay.
For rubber dogs. Especially 4th of July coming up. Other than that, Tom, anything you want to.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. When I say that, it's because they have things other lenders don't have, like the interest rate guarantee. When you close, whether you're buying a house or refining, and rates go down, you didn't miss the boat. They will refinance you free of charge. They also have, of course, credit optimization. You're approved, but they go further. They tweak your credit to give you better pricing. That means they will help you. They will help you. Hold on one second. They will help you any way they can. You can pick your own term and still get the low interest rate. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan. That's 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. Direct mortgage lenders. One thing that you really, really need to do is take this name down, and I hope you never use it. But what I don't want you to do is shop for an attorney when you're under pressure. So if you ever have an issue like a traffic ticket or a DUI, which is very serious, or you have another issue where you need an attorney, a defense attorney, know that we've done the shopping for you. Joe Lazzara. 303-429-6200. That's 303-429-6200. Flat rate pricing on everything. Joe Lazzara, and you can find him at referralist.com. Okay, so just make a practice of not talking. Okay, just in the studio, unless we truly, unless you hear that.
Yeah.
If you hear this, we can talk.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's just an automatic practice.
You know what's funny about the Jay Anderson thing? Because Black Rod is mad at the problem.
Exactly.
What do you mean brought it forward?
It's all went to them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's consistent, which is good.
It's amazing that though the government, meaning Denver's, not doing anything.
Well, they are. They say the police are investigating. But really, when they say, and that's really a bad thing.
Is it reverse too close to reporting interest? Both mortgage companies have.
We're fine.
Because it's not the actual police. They're higher up.
You can do the same right.
That's
Well,
720-573-0086.
It's pretty strange.
So is Jay Anderson the president of Colorado Public School Board?
Yeah, just, you know,
he's president. He's a top dog.
Colorado Pain Care has assembled dedicated doctors and physical therapists
Suzanne
evidence-based treatments for pain. They work with all major insurers. Isn't it time you get relief? Call 303-GOT. ColoradoPainCare.com. All that online activity can mean exposing your personal information. In fact, 64% of the online fraud. The spectrum of identity theft every 3 seconds. No one can prevent all cybercrime or identity, but you can help keep
The guy that was helping me mow that lawn over the weekend, we had to shop in Denver and some stuff because his wife couldn't make something because her mom was real sick. She just died.
June 13th.
You know what? The doctor told her 5 months. I mean, she was within 5 or 6 days of 5 months of dying. That's incredible.
Hello, I'm consumer advocate.
I like the stories where they say, "Oh, the doctor said I had 3 months to live," and it's 5 years later. But this was like, get on. Oh, no pun intended. She died.
They told me that when I had my liver cancer. My buddies out here said I had 6 weeks to live.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah, 2 of them did. 2 oncologists.
They say, hey, man.
And then I went to Sloan Kettering in New York, and they cured me.
What did they kill it, cut it out, and then it grew back?
No, they cut it out, and it never grew
But
back.
why didn't your
No, not the cancer, but the liver, the healthy liver grows back, right?
Well, they only took a very small part of the
Why
liver.
didn't? Here's what I don't understand. Why didn't the doctors here suggest that?
It's amazing.
It's just amazing.
Can you imagine if everything could do
If I
that?
listened to them, I would die. I didn't get a second opinion. That's why I always tell people,
I mean, if there were mandatory birth control, you'd have to pay can you imagine, you gotta pay like $100,000 to have a license to breed? If you want to have more, you're right, if you want to have more than whatever amount of
they
kids.
just raised it.
Didn't they used to? I mean, I don't know if this was
What was the one?
I don't know if this was a rule, but could they throw away girls if they wanted to, literally?
I know they China one child
So
policy.
the practice was yes, but as they advertised or legalized that.
So it was done, but it wasn't like. Can you believe how inventive why don't we so inventive, China? It's just insane.
Because they're trying to use it against Russia.
Then you can hear a libertarian at his best. Ross Gibbons.
Why we're so in bed with Russia?
Because Biden's son got raped by him.
We pretend to be so. We pretend to be so good.
No, Ukraine also. He's on the board member of the Ukraine company.
I'm Tom Martino.
Your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Earlier we mentioned the Public Adjusters Claims Pro is one of them. Claims Pro can help you get more money from your insurance claim. They do commercial and private or residential. What is a public adjuster? There's someone, when you have an insurance claim, they will negotiate. Now, you can get a settlement from your insurance, and you may say, okay, this is what they're offering me. And then they go in and try to get you more money and only charge you for the extra money. And they usually can do better than you can do on your own. In fact, we've never found a case where they don't improve the settlement because insurance companies are just not fair to you. To find out about Claims Pro, it's very easy. Go to their website, publicadjuster.pro. Publicadjuster.pro. All right. Let's go to the phones, 303-713-TALK. Craig has a comment on Tay Anderson. Go ahead. We brought that up because we had somebody on from the black community doing a basketball camp, a wonderful, a positive thing. But then we asked about Tay Anderson, 60 so-called complaints against him. As a school board member, they were saying that he was using his place of authority to take advantage of undocumented students. But anyway, I don't have enough information about it to comment yet. Craig, go ahead.
Tom, I agree. He's due his day in court to face these charges. But his character and his past history is not real good at this point. You should talk to your buddy Ross about it.
Okay, I have listened to Ross about it. I do know he's controversial. For example, when he wears his hat backwards, he said he was accused of being a thug, and he said, I'm going to continue to do it because I look like the people I represent. And then the other thing was he refuses to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. He says he doesn't believe in it because as a black man, there's too much systemic racism and injustice. Other than that, I don't know much about him. Go ahead.
He got himself elected as a school board member. Then he used that position to get some recognition and became an activist. One of the things he did was he is almost solely responsible for having school resource officers removed from Denver Public Schools.
No, that I remember, yes. And he was happy about it, yeah.
Yes, okay, he was happy about that. And then he announced that he was going to be a father. He put a link to a gift registry at Target asking for people to buy him things. For
he did that. Are you kidding me? He really did? Wow.
Yeah. And he also, when the police were trying to move the homeless camps, he went down, got himself in that fray, got himself knocked down, accused of being assaulted by a police officer, found his way into a hospital, taking pictures of himself being in the hospital bed and accusing the police officers of brutality. I mean, this is a guy that is involved with children, and he doesn't represent a good role model as far as I'm concerned. And again, he's due his day in court, but when you keep doing these controversial things that most of us disagree with, we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not.
But Craig, the other part is just purely the numbers. 60 people with allegations. That's amazing. Whether proof or not. What does he think? Like all these kids got together?
Yeah. Well, unless there was someone, let's say there was a reporter out to get him, and that reporter kind of said to somebody, hey, do you know anybody who was friends with him too? And let's say we had one complaint. Then he said, hey, do you know somebody who was friends with him too? And then he went to that person and said, hey, did he ever like seem overly friendly? And somebody might say, she might say, oh yeah, kind of, but, and then, well, did he ever touch you? Well, he put his hand on my shoulder once. And did that creep you out? Tell the truth. Would you want him doing that again and again and again? I mean, I know how people can do that and make things. Now, I'm not saying that happened here, but I said unless that happened, then I say 60 complaints are too many. You know,
I agree.
Just too many.
Usually where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, and that saying does hold true if they weren't coerced, or, you know, where they don't go in, where they don't try to stir up stuff, because you can really make things. See, unfortunately, as a reporter, you hear and see all these tricks. When I was a reporter, I did consumer stuff, but then I know what people did. They would bring stuff up that had nothing to do with something else, and they would say just 3 weeks ago, so and so, and it really had nothing to do with the incident, but it just added fuel to the fire. And like I said, I think that's pretty hard with 60 different complaints. I mean, if there were 2 or 3, but 60, I can't see where it can be justified that he stay on the school board with 60 individual complaints. Yes?
Tom, I've had a guy email me a couple times saying 60 did not come forward. One woman said 60.
Well, if that's the case, then certainly... that deserves way more investigation. I see, that's the problem. I am not familiar with the case. So were there actually 60 individual allegations, or did one person say there were about 60 kids involved?
Let's get Ross on.
Well, I mean, that particular one deserves... I mean,
this also says former members of an anti-gun violence group called Never Again Colorado said that Anderson engaged in inappropriate behavior when he was the group's president in 2018.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Did he use...
I have no idea.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at. There is something that happens that I don't like when people jump on a bandwagon, okay? Let's say they never thought of this guy before, but he said some off-color jokes when he was part of that group, let's say. Now this comes up, so now those guys say, yeah, I remember he said some off-color joke, and then it's that bandwagon effect. Again, I'm not defending him at all. I'm just saying I just want to make sure, are they really that many? Are there that many complaints really? And okay, Alan, what is your comment? Sorry, go ahead. Alan, do you have a comment? Okay, I'm going to go to Mark Manny. Manny, do you have a comment?
I do. I think this is a public lynching, and it's a shame when not one police report has been entered. It's a shame when not one parent of those alleged children has come forward. As a parent, regardless of whether or not you're documented or not, you would not want your children to be abused. And there's not one parent that has come forward. There's one person that has indicated 62 people allegations. Well, that person's credibility is nil. She has her own problems, and to try to publicly force a elected official out of office without one shred of evidence is shameful, Tom, and I'm surprised that you would allow it to happen on your show.
Now, Manny, let me ask you something. What am I allowing to happen? What am I allowing to happen?
Open
by the way,
discussion, and Manny can't handle it.
Just wait a sec. I'm not shutting down. Manny, I have said in every single case, I have said, if there are 2 or 3 complaints, that's one thing. What we have to do is investigate them, but that could easily be manipulated. I said if there were 60 individual complaints and they weren't coerced or people did not gather them falsely, then I said there's a big problem. But what I did, I made that very clear. And then I also said I am not familiar enough with this case to make an opinion. So for you to say that you are surprised that I allowed open discussion is absolutely ridiculous. I allow all discussion. What I don't do is what Facebook and YouTube does and shuts down stuff they don't agree with, okay? And then claim it's community standards, okay? I am telling you there is nothing wrong with the discussion I'm having. If anything, I think it may bring to light that possibly all of these so-called allegations aren't as many as we think. So you tell me what I'm doing wrong, Manny.
I'll tell you what I think happened, Tom, and I'm a frequent listener. Number one, Mr. Albertus came on your show to talk about his basketball camp.
That's right.
And unbeknown to him, you put the issue of Kay Anderson into the discussion.
Manny, then you were not listening, Manny. Manny, you were not listening because I was 100% discussing basketball when Mark said, by the way, Albertus, I have a question about Kay Anderson, to which I said, wait a minute. Then I allowed Albertus to completely finish what he was saying about his basketball camp. I gave out the website so people could contribute. Then I said, we are going to take a break. And when we do, Albertus can, if he wants, continue, and he can make a statement. So don't you dare try to characterize what happened today in your warped way. You have a very warped perception, Manny. You are full of crap, okay? You are totally full of crap because I am here experiencing your manipulation of facts. So you are a liar, and that is too bad, Manny. You are a liar. That's all I have to say, okay? Okay?
Tom, let me say something.
Yeah, did you, hold on, was there one thing I said that you listened to? Was there one thing I just made a point that you listened to? Do you admit that you mischaracterized the discussion and the genesis of the discussion?
One thing I did say is that the...
Goodbye, Manny. You're full of crap, okay? Just goodbye. What a piece of crap. You know what? I am, honest to God, one of the most objective and fair people in the world because I truly don't take too many sides unless I fully investigate it. And that's the God's honest truth. You know, I am so liberal in some things and so conservative in others, you can't hang a label on me. God, Manny, what a jerk you are.
So I've had another goal.
Did you just hear everything you said was fucking wrong?
Did you try to go on here? So you did it, Tim.
I was just goofing. I'm trying to guess the...
What is it asking for?
And Tom, we all agree he deserves to stay, he deserves this to be disregarded if it's going to ruin it, if it's not true.
I know, and I don't know anything about the situation.
Right, and that's what
I really don't. I mean, were there 60 fucking complaints or not?
Well, I think
you can do it here, sir.
I think last time it was Mayhow.
Oh, that's on a different, that's a different screen. That screen you won't have anymore, though.
And in Denver right now, it's
so, not to get arrested, not to get charged down.
There's nothing that'll scare your hot date away faster than bad breath. Luckily, Smart Mouth mouthwash has got you ready for 20.
No.
Well, I was nervous last week when a guy called in oh God, here we go.
Yeah, what happened with that?
I want to tell you about two different mortgage companies. One, affordable interest mortgage, conventional loans. All right? You can get a loan, whether it be FHA, VA, you can get jumbo, or you can get straight conventional. up to 700 and something thousand. Here's the deal. They have all the loans you need, and they have the liquid loan, which is a line of credit that you can pay up and down at will. So if you need extra stuff done on the house, you want to pay off high interest debt, you can do that and then pay it down again. There's no penalty for paying it down. And that's really, I love the variation of that loan. In fact, every penny you have in the bank counts against the average daily balance. Affordable interest mortgage, that's AImortgage.net. That's where you find Kurt Rogers and his team. I've known him for 30 years. 720-895-0500. Affordable interest mortgage, that's AImortgage.net. Now, the other mortgage company, ApprovalReverse.com. Approval Reverse Mortgage is for what? Reverse loans. Now, I believe in reverse loans in many cases. If you have a lot of equity, you're getting older, you can really use that equity and you never have to worry about paying tax on it. Do you realize that? You know, I was thinking about on the way to work today. I think with my house, it's going up in value a lot. I'm getting older. Someday, I'm going to get a reverse loan and just spend the money rather than selling it. Because if I sell it, I have to pay tax on the extra gain. If I just use the money, I never have to pay it back until I leave or die. I'm serious. It is a very useful tool. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. You know, in both cases, when I talked about these lenders, I gave out their website. Every business needs a website. You know, I love my website that I use for my CD products with Panacea Life Sciences. I use the one that says realcbdthatworks.com. When you go to the website, it's very well done. If you want your website to look and sound good, if you want it to be efficient, if you want it to be found by search engines, get the advice of these people. You go here, getfoundfast.com, and get a free evaluation of your website. Getfoundfast.com.
Attention time shareholders. Let's get a little video of George's dad. Serenity now! Serenity now! He gets mad, but he can calm down quickly. I could never do what he does.
Oh, we know what you do. We learned all about that. We're not going to bring that up.
He goes to slash his tires.
He's this guy, man.
He does things behind your back.
People.
Like guys that tested positive, we're working with them to try and make sure we make the proper
selections
and just even challenge.
I did not give names.
And ask him to send back his tablets.
We don't name names.
You could.
What was the name of the Chinese
restaurant? Write a letter to the people that are suspending him, explaining the situation.
Yeah, we'll be willing. I'll be willing to do that. Kind of following through and making sure that we're providing appropriate support. So.
Yeah, it's really a sad situation.
Well, so fortunately he didn't get fired, right? Right. He has to go on the probation deal. Yeah, can still find him guilty.
Do you know what? One thing I found, and this, I don't care if it goes out over the broadband. Over the years, working with men and women, I can blow up on Mark or with Dan, or we can have an argument, and then just nothing. But man, if you do that with a woman, I'll fucking hold on to it for days.
They're like elephants.
They never No, days. And you have to really, unless there's closure, you gotta like resurface it and say, I didn't really mean it, blah, 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 blah. And that takes a lot of time and energy. And I think sometimes it's not that we think men or women are better than worse, or that men are more competent. It's that they might feel it's easier. I think they might feel it's easier to work.
I'm telling you, we have a space in their brain, things you said years ago, that will come to the forefront the next time you have an argument. Am I right, Dan? I wouldn't say all
we are definitely different. Yeah, we are definitely different. I like this, but
you can bet one
I think
game parlay risk-free every single week.
Or if you want to see he's gonna get mad at somebody who's seeing, who's the,
I don't like
the bathtub,
I'm sorry, what are you calling about?
Bentley bath.
Yeah. Woo! That guy was.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I was here, there was a
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mystery of the first online real money wager on every fund issue is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Same game Friday refund issue is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Tax refund $10. Restrictions apply. See terms and conditions at
Oh, good. Remind you.
I keep reminding you.
No, I mean, while we're on the air, I don't care if you hear a pause. By the way, I mean, really.
All right, yeah.
No, I don't mind that.
We got another guy, from Bob Logan from,
Tom Martino here, 303-7135.
Tom. 713-8255.
Hey, Tom, I have some updates that you might.
What do you got going on?
Hey, remember, Mac called up about PJ with the concrete that he.
Well, let me get the call. So
Okay.
go ahead. So who was the concrete company?
It was called PJ
Construction.
PJ Construction.
Yeah, got it.
And Mac had some work, a concrete pour that he wasn't happy with.
Yeah.
And he said he couldn't get Paul to answer it. So I got on a three-way conversation with Paul and Mac. And
didn't he say it was like May 10th it was done, right?
Right, it was May 10th.
And he said it was like a broom finish. He paid $4,000. Go ahead. You finally got through to him?
He answered the phone right away. I got on a three-way call.
See.
And they are having... Paul is going over to Mac's house tomorrow evening.
See, that's
and they're
great.
going to... he's going to talk to Paul, and Mac will have a conversation and figure out what needs to be done.
Why does that happen? Why does this happen where we have to get involved to make things happen? And I'm not saying PJ's a bad guy. He's not unlike many others we've run across. They just don't get back to jobs done.
Well, that's going to take... Also, listen to this about Elevate Medical. Remember, Jack called. He had signed up for a whole bunch of treatments with Elevate Medical.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. It was these far infrared treatments.
Right. Well, anyway, here's the deal.
For neuropathy. He signed up for 12 weeks at $7,800.
Right, and he canceled it after 3 or 4 visits.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get his refund back.
Yeah.
We thought that he was due around $3,500 or $3,600.
Well, yeah, he got $400 back.
Right, and the reason is when I looked at the refund policy. The refund policy says that if you cancel, then all of the discounts that were applied will not be. So what happens is when you with medical treatments, there's a price, there's an insurance price. So if something is $1,000 is the base price, and you go through insurance, it might be $300 that the insurance company has negotiated with the supplier. It says clearly on their refund policy that if you cancel, all of the discounts will be discarded and you pay full price.
You pay full price for what you've had done,
and for what you need to have. So rather than, let's say there were 7 treatments at $1,000, if he had
we don't need the math. Here's what I want to get at. Here's
so
what I need to know,
they're charging him full price.
But you're saying things I'm not understanding.
Okay.
Here's all I need to know. If there were 4 treatments left he did not get, he should get a refund for the 4 treatments he did not get, providing he paid full price for the treatments he did get.
Yes. Except he didn't pay full price. He paid the insurance price.
No, I'm saying for calculating the refund, they would take the money he paid, they would apply full price for the treatments he got. Right?
Right.
And then he would get the refund of that. And when you do that, you're saying he did get the proper refund.
Right.
Okay.
Because they're charging him full price to the remaining treatment.
Retroactively, they're charging him full price. I get it. I get it. So that's a very simple concept. But he did not get that in the contract. Did he understand it once you explained it to him?
Yes, I sent him an email explaining exactly that.
And by the way, I think that sucks anyway, and I think they suck. I think Elevate Medical sucks, okay? That's my bottom line assessment. One, because they're touting this far infrared for neuropathy, and you want to know something, it's a lot of BS. Now, far infrared does work for increasing circulation a bit, but far from ever helping with neuropathy. And I want to know if Elevate Medical has one patient, one, One. I'm not asking for two. I'm asking for one that I can call and ask. Someone you don't prep that I can call where they have gotten success. They've gotten help. Their neuropathy has lessened as a result of your far infrared. I want to know. Because I'll bet you can't find any. So, I'm all for far infrared has some very limited benefits. It works, okay. It shows going into the skin. It warms up. It helps circulation. I don't know, Jamie, do you know anything about far infrared therapy? You're a scientist. I'm serious. I'm asking not about them. I'm asking about simply far infrared light.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you know about it?
I'm on your side of the.
Okay, it works too, but here's what happens
but
with
not,
something.
Not for chronic neuropathy.
Not to the extent where it would improve it. You see, they take a truth like far infrared increases circulation. Well, technically any light increases circulation, but far infrared does. You shine it on there, it's going to go in and it's going to help with some small capillaries in that very immediate area. The amount of treatment you would need to do anything for neuropathy is far beyond what they're going to do, and that's my opinion. And if Elevate wants to discuss it, they can come on the air. They can come on the air, and they can promote the hell out of it. But I want to know one person who has benefited from Elevate Medical and their 12-week, $7,800 schlock. Far infrared crap is what I call it. And the only thing far is they're far reaching into your wallet. Robert has a comment on Manny's call I want to take right after this and more coming up.
Mark. He'll do that at the end.
We have a lot of some extra stuff in the infrared, of course. We're not seeing why can't you just put your in a tub of hot water?
Right, that would help circulation too. But it doesn't. These guys, man, and this weight loss shit they do with some of it, like this fat dissolving shit, it does not dissolve fat. These lights.
Today, not only right. What about cold sculpting?
That's bullshit. So
cold sculpting.
But SmartMouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. Find SmartMouth in the mouthwash aisle at Walmart or visit
I said that. You didn't hear me?
So, you need advice when you get into an accident. First of all, how much is it worth? And that may sound like a crazy question, but it's a true question that people have when they're hurt in an auto accident. I always tell you to get free legal advice from John Fuller Law, and I really mean that. Okay, first of all, he's going to take a look objectively at this to see what it is, if it's worth anything, if it's worth going after, what he can collect or what anyone can collect, and he'll give you free legal advice. That's worth the call. If you decide to hire him, it's on contingency. He only takes a percentage of what he collects for you. Otherwise, there's nothing. So that's Fuller Law, John Fuller, free legal advice when you're injured in an accident, 303-597-4500, and he's on the referral list at referrallist.com, 303-597-4500. And when you are looking to get your carpets cleaned, you have a patented process of this highly softened alkaline-based water. Now, there's way more to it than that, but I just give a little hint because I know alone what the soft water can do for cleaning. These guys have gotten it to a science, zero res. Zero res is fantastic for cleaning, and they will do your carpets or your tile or your upholstery, tile and grout, or your upholstery and your carpets, and they do it at the best process because there's no residue. It's drier faster, it stays cleaner longer because there's no residue to attract anything. It's the system I use. That's ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150.
You need to come out to Coors Field July 11th and experience the MLB All-Star Sunday. You're going to see the biggest superstars of tomorrow MLB and Rockies legends and the country's biggest celebrities all in one day. For tickets, go there right now. AllStarGame.com. Go get tickets. It's going to be a blast. AllStarGame.com.
Hey guys, you've been hearing a lot about how well CBD has been working for...
I am shocked that Sirius XM is in 90% of these spots.
Seriously, let me read.
Hey, Mark, did you know if you get tickets to the All-Star game, you have to buy all 3 games?
How much is...
No, isn't one a doubleheader, right?
No, you have to buy the home run derby, the regular one, and there's something else.
The whole deal.
So you can't
Probably
buy
the exhibition.
Yeah, you can't buy just one game.
Exhibition.
Exhibition. So you have to get all 3.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I know people that have, season tickets, and they get offered first crack, but you have to buy all 3 days.
I'm anti-baseball using promo code K.
We can't be anti-baseball.
Why can't you be?
It's
un-American.
Blue Sky CBD.
God, the Avalanche lost last night. They were ahead 2-0.
Oh, they did? Oh, so they're done?
No.
Oh, they look good for a while. They have to go back to Vegas tomorrow night. It's going to be a tough game.
The first win for one that's been not home.
Pricks.
It's going to be really interesting.
Biggest night.
I actually bet on that game. I totally forgot until you just said that.
Need to bring reality.
Fucking pricks.
That's the also
First they kick me out of the chop house, now this.
You got kicked out of Chop House?
Yes, don't even bring it up. I should have brought it up. Years ago, I told you that, man. When I went back to visit with the Avs.
An unauthorized visit. He was like going to Hop Sings.
Do we know the number to
It's like a blink, and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want you now, faster than ever.
Mark's been holding 3 hours. He got more airtime than any of your sponsors.
The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're getting you fast, reliable shipping nationwide.
What's that? Here's what Ross said, by the way. Ready? There were 2 or 3 initial complaints, but without names attached. And one woman said she had received 60 or 62 complaints, but there are no names in the police. Said they have not spoken to a single person who has made a direct allegation.
See, that's what we have to say, because that's fair.
Hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19.
I don't know, man. 9 News, Fox 31, they all made it sound like I was just looking that up as I got inside.
Well, Fox News probably hates this guy.
No, Fox, no, local Fox, man. Oh, local Fox.
Migraines, general wellness. Call or text 720-987-2155. Rocky Mountain IV Medic 720-987-2155. Ask them. Back on that hand. Then you can hear a
Dan's right. It looks like a local chapter of Black Lives Matter
Getting 630K pound.
brought it up on behalf of an anonymous woman.
On your smart speaker.
Available on over 2,000 devices.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You have a comment on Manny's call. Basically, we had a discussion about Tay Anderson, and it came up quite innocently when we were talking to Albertus, and then I asked Albertus if he wanted to comment. He did. And then other people commented. And then Mark has some other follow-up on that, and I think it's only fair we actually read what happened after your call, Robert. So, Robert, you wanted to talk about Manny. Manny absolutely mischaracterized everything I said and did on this show, I think. Go ahead.
Oh, most definitely. I listened with interest about that, and I love the way you shut him down and corrected him on everything that he did wrong. My one comment on this is he was so up in the air about how can you do this to Tay Anderson? How can you do this to Tay Anderson? No evidence. Okay, where were you the last 4 years when the Democrats were doing that to President Trump?
It's whoever. It depends on whose lamb is being slaughtered. I swear to God, Robert, that's really everyone's a phony because they only stick up for when their lamb is being slaughtered. But this is really important. I want Mark to read this from Ross Kaminsky.
Yeah, so I texted Ross and I said, hey, we just had a guy on. What's going on? Was there 62 people that came forward, or is there one person that said 62 people came forward? And here's what he responded. There were 2 or 3 initial complaints, but without names attached, and then one woman said she had received 60 or 62 complaints. But again, there are no names in the police.
Now think about that. Not one name, but she said she had 62 complaints.
Yep,
what else?
And they have not spoken to a single person who has made a direct allegation.
Now, I ask you that, honest to God, is that fair? So really what we have is one person.
Well, I see what's odd about this is
that one person is not supplying any detail.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, the police haven't talked to anyone.
Well, I have no idea, man.
You just read that.
I know I read that. That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm saying initially when this stuff came out, and I saw it on Fox News like 2 weeks ago, they were saying the same thing. And when I say Fox News, I mean Fox 31. There are 60 or 62 people that are making allegations.
You might have
I don't know. You know what I'd like to know is, does this woman work in the school? I don't even know who this woman that came forward is.
Anyway, I'm not saying this guy is an angel or never did anything, but when you really dig into it, it's terrible, though, that people are assuming things that they don't have any clue. I mean, this could happen to you.
You know who brought it forward to everybody is Black Lives Matter.
That's what I heard. And again, do they have someone who actually has credibility? Now, I know the guy that was the inventor was holding, and I'm sorry, and he can still hold. I will get to him, I promise this. Plus a Dollar Tree problem and more.
September 10th, 2001.
Dollar Tree problem. How hard could it be to resolve a Dollar Tree problem?
We can all chip in and give them 25 cents. Just take it back.
That's right.
Just take it back.
That store is freaking amazing.
Remember? Mark, do you remember?
If we go to a movie, I'll hit it before the movie.
I'll bet you those stores they took it back to the dollar store.
What's that?
What's the name? Took it back to the dollar store. Shoot, she used to be our board op.
She took what back to the dollar store?
Don't you remember?
In your AC.
She used to be the board op.
A woman? I don't remember a woman board op.
Deal for you. Please
Not a board
check,
op.
adjust, and
Sam's job.
refurbish.
Kayla?
And furnace too.
Who the fuck's he talking about?
Oh, God, just the sir she was.
Since it's together, it makes sense. And you won't find a better price for the extension of.
Who are you talking about? Someone that worked here. Does it start? Are they female?
Yes.
And they worked for us?
Yes.
Not for iHeart.
No, us.
And it's a woman.
Yes.
Okay.
I never had a woman.
I have no idea who
I
it's
had a woman. What about, sorry, not the board op, Daphne. Daphne. Remember the dollar store thing? She took her.
Yes, now I remember. Okay, so listen to this, guy.
You had a brain fart.
Oh my God. Listen to this. So, this person worked for 15 or 20 bucks an hour, whatever it is. It doesn't even matter. X amount per hour. There was some half and half from the dollar store that cost $1. That was out of date. So, under our dime, she returns it to the dollar store that takes it out. Now, do you see the fucking problem with this? I mean, and then when I brought this to light, of course, it's clueless. Like, still didn't understand well. It was out of date. Oh, thanks, Dan. I needed that. Oh, my God. That was so hard for you to spit out, though. I'm worried about you.
I know. That's how it was.
You realize,
I'll bet you that
Do you realize that we're getting a new area code?
what is it?
983.
That's what, remember that was an episode of
Denver Metro? We're getting a third.
Elaine was going to do anything.
The
Not to
Denver
get
area. So we have 3 of them. 720, 303.
Yeah, but really, we've got Fort Collins is whatever.
970.
970. Colorado Springs is 719.
720 and 303. So we have 4.
The weird one about 720 and 303, they're anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's weird about 719. If you get a Google number that's 719, you got to dial all 10 digits. But if you live in Colorado Springs, and you have a real phone company phone number, it's 7-digit dial.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get advertisers that get a Google number, and if you don't give out the whole 10 digits, then it just doesn't work.
Wow.
Your first-hand accounts from healthcare workers battling the coronavirus.
When I call people, I always have to use 10 digits.
Yeah, because Denver's got 10-digit dialing.
Yeah.
And I think all cell phones have 10-digit. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I'm CBS News.
So I've got a Seattle area code, and if it's local to Denver here, I don't have to put in the area code.
Every month.
Oh, you can just dial whatever. Well, you still got to put in 303 though. Well, how does it know if it's 303 or 719?
Did you dial only 7 numbers on your cell phone?
Wow.
Who do you have in your phone?
But his number's out of a different.
That's
I don't know how that would work though, because there could be two numbers. One's a 720 and one's a 303 that are identical. Which one does it know to dial?
Or maybe I'm just hitting, maybe hitting redial and it's automatically populating the area.
And it's showing maybe.
And it just doesn't show the area code.
Dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first.
Boy, people don't walk any kind of politics.
And say get H2O for this exclusive offer. Start
Polarized.
saving today.
What's that?
Any political views are polarized.
Oh, they're so polarized. What they don't understand, you bring one thing up like that, you generate 50 calls.
And Dan showed me the log.
Oh, I could fill it up in 5 seconds with that.
There's also an ozone action alert today.
But on landline.
4 p.m.
You
can now call a hotline to find out if you're eligible for the
$1 million
prizes based on the comeback cash controversial.
Taking like the nuclear.
Yeah.
1-877-268-2926 number is actually the health department, but they'll connect you to someone.
Something legal. You ask a Seinfeld question without knowing the answer. That is illegal.
Database. Vaccination rate is now about 100%.
I can't wait to have Frank in. We'll have to do some trivia.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
We know someone is, I don't think he is as good as us now, but a few years ago he was better than us.
With Seinfeld? I suppose Ken on mine. Hey Dan, you guys
He's
still
pretty good.
You watch the reruns when you're at home? Still? I got to see the DVDs. So you still watch it? Yeah. Especially it's a great way to fall asleep. Once it just brings back it's just like, God, that incident just happened to me.
So when Seinfeld came out, I was living in Australia.
Oh, really?
They showed the previous season. I was riding the bus in the university. And on Friday mornings, everyone would be retelling Seinfeld jokes. The whole bus would be cracking out. It was pretty cool.
They liked it in Australia?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Now down there, do they add a different accent to it? No.
No, that was dumb.
Do they like, is it mostly American movies and stuff down there? Or like,
Well, I mean, you're only talking about 20 million people. So
I have a feeling because this young man, because he wears his hat backwards, because he doesn't stand for the pledge, because he got cops out of the school
campaign?
No, I don't think it's a campaign. I think that people will grab on to anything to do it, though. And just,
oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm here for the kids. I mean, that is, I tell you what, pedophilia.
Well, it's the reason they're, priests and teachers and Boy Scouts, all that shit. They're around, they put themselves around kids.
I mean, just like the Boy Scout thing, why people weren't turning them in and they allow that to happen.
I don't know why. I did kind of worry about that.
It just bothers me how someone, if they know anything like that's going on, they don't speak up. Like that one coach in Pennsylvania.
Oh, not Joe. Yeah, Joe.
But it wasn't. It was the guy that worked for Joe Paterno, right? Yes. Yeah. Maybe they turned him in. Oh, a guy walked in while he was doing to a boy.
Paterno supposedly protected while it was known that he was abusing players. Jerry.
Now.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by WaterPros.net. WaterPros, the best conditioning systems you can find anywhere. Whole house installed for under $2,000. That is unheard of. If you go to these phonies, hey, Waterman, you know who I'm talking about, and all those other people, they lie to you, they exaggerate, they tell you got dangerous water and then charge you $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. You will never get that with Paul the Waterman. In fact, I, honest to God, don't understand why he does it so inexpensively when he could charge more and I'd pay it. So for a point-of-use filtration system under $1,000, fully installed, it's unbelievable. This one doesn't take any power at all. It's all powered by the water flow. And then you have the full house conditioning system, full house for beautiful soft water, conditioned for better cleaning and better health and better clothing, better, no residual. It's just marvelous what it does. Under $2,000 fully installed. So anyway, he has a combination of other systems you might want. The best systems at the lowest prices. WaterPros.net. So we're talking about a number of things. Let's just go right to the phones. I have something on CBD right here. I have Dr. Jamie Baumgarten with me from Panacea Life Sciences. You know them here. I always say realcbdthatworks.com. I just love that. But they also have panacealife.com. So somebody said if they want to take a chewable in the morning along with their supplements every day, is there any downside? Well, somebody told them you shouldn't overdo that stuff. I don't even know what that means. So let's talk about CBD as a supplement. Is there any, I can't see any negative in it. Can you?
There really isn't, Tom. I mean, so clinical studies have been shown.
Actual studies
with an approved pure CBD drug called Epidiolex.
Yeah.
That you can take this up to 10 milligrams per kilogram per day. So for a fat guy like me, okay, that's taking a gram of material a day. That's like the biggest horse pill in the world.
Well, of course, you'd never do that.
With no adverse events.
So, but what would the benefit be of taking that deal? Let's say you take a fast chewable a day.
So overall, you're gonna promote lower inflammation in your body, which underlies a lot of different diseases. Okay?
Most of them, yeah.
Most of them. A sense of calm in terms of anti-anxiety. And those are the two major things that you actually see in terms of taking a daily 25 milligram
And then
dose.
it'll help with pain.
Absolutely.
Now, for acute injuries, when somebody wants to know, can you use anything topically that truly does penetrate and work without the menthol and all that? In other words, is it the CBD that's actually helping when it's used topically? You know, I realize you work for the company, and I realize you're here to promote CBD products, but I want to know, what is the efficacy of topical applications of the actual CBD? I know there's a lot of other stuff you can put in it, like menthol and stuff, but the CBD itself.
Well, so the CBD has so many different effects that it's tough to really answer that question.
Yeah.
But I'll try and distill it down to a nutshell, right? So again, it's an anti-inflammatory. So when you think about sunburn, for example, you get an inflammatory reaction. So by applying CBD to that, you're going to reach the nerve endings in the skin.
It will work.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
I never even thought of that for sunburn.
And it'll shut down the nerve signals that cause that.
What about bruising? Could it help with that?
Bruising, it'll help a little bit, but you know the bruising is actually occurring for two things. One is you've broken some blood vessels, and that's why you get the coloration. Okay.
Right.
But you do get that pain response. You get those cells that come in that try and heal, and so again, CBD will help modulate that.
But as far as topically for pain, does it? I mean, I would rather just chew the fast. That helps me. Do you even have topical for pain? I never searched.
Yeah, we've got a.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works. It works. But Tom, here's what I'd recommend. Right.
Yeah.
I would say if you've got a pain condition, and say lower back pain is a common one, right?
Right.
I'd recommend using both. Give it the double whammy. So put the salve in the area of location.
Right.
And then take the fast tabs, and you get both effects.
Anyway, realcbdthatworks.com. Now, Ernie, and I know that Dr. Baumgarten's pretty smart, a PhD in chemical biology. Is it what is it?
Biochemistry and pharmacology.
Biochemistry. Well, okay. I said it backwards. But Ernie, I'm not sure if he can answer, but he can help us. Go ahead. What is your question?
I want to see this doctor, this wellness center, and the name of it is Keystone Wellness Center. health and wellness.
Okay, you have your radio on, Ernie, and it's really hard to hear you, but I want to talk to you, so I want you to do me a favor. Turn down the radio. I'll come right back to you, I promise, okay? Because I do want to talk to you. I have a feeling what you're talking about is a ripoff, okay? I hate telling you that. So just hang on. Kathleen, what is your problem? What's happening with Dollar Tree?
Tom, thank you for taking my call. I was there yesterday, and I bought 9 items. Dollar Tree, it's basically $1 an item.
Yeah.
And at the end of $9, it had food tax, 9 cents, sales tax, 33 cents, and then it had S as in Sam, N, K as in kitchen, TX tax, 25 cents.
SNKTX.
Right, tax, and then tax is spelled out, T-A-X. And so I asked the cashier, she had no idea, so she got the manager. Manager said, I've never seen this before. I've never noticed it. I don't know what it is.
It was 25
cents?
Nice.
She says, I've never noticed it.
It was 25 cents?
Yes.
Huh.
$9. So I got home and I called the city of Westminster because this is Dollar Tree in Westminster, and Westminster said, I've never heard of this. Let me check. I'll call you back. They called back and they said, we've never heard of this. We don't know what it is. She said, we have an idea, but that's only an idea that the shopping plaza has done improvements or whatever, and Dollar Tree, etc., is passing their share of the improvements on to the customers. That was just the city of Westminster's idea. She said, I know that's legal in some states where they can do that.
Well, they can do that anywhere they want. They can simply, instead of raising prices, they'll just charge it at the register. That really is up to what consumers accept. I guess you should be made aware of it, but yeah, they could do it.
Well, okay, but then this Michelle, the the manager, looked at other receipts, and she said she saw receipts with the SNK tax on the receipt, but no charge. It was 0, 0, 0. And I went back there this morning, and she said, I found I don't know, 6 or 8 other receipts that the SNK tax was charged for. And she said, my only thought is they're charging tax on snacks.
Did you, by the way, did you ever find out what it was? Did you ever find out?
No. And then the city of Westminster has no idea.
Well, we'll find out.
We called corporate Dollar Tree, and no response. And we called the state of Colorado.
Tom, I Googled it. I couldn't find anything on it.
So wait a minute. So some things have it, and some things don't at the very same store.
Right.
That is so strange to me. I'm wondering if it's some hacker who got in there and he's being sent funds. Wouldn't that be funny? Did you find something, Jamie, on it? Did you? No? Okay. What did you find? You found it?
Yeah, it's soda candy and other groceries.
Soda candy and other groceries.
Right.
Okay. In Westminster only?
I just put in Colorado tax, and that's what came up.
Colorado, did you put in SNKTX?
I just typed in snack tax to see.
That's what it stands for. Of course it does. See, he's a PhD. I should have known. He found, I see SNKTX, and I'm thinking, what the hell's that saying? Snack tax.
Okay, so I bought $1 worth of snacks, and they charged 25 cents. That's 25%.
No, there was probably other things considered a snack. Probably. That's what I would say. But did they refund it? I'm curious.
No, I did ask him for it was 20. I've never seen this on any kind of receipt, King Soopers or anything else. And I thought maybe somebody could be aware that.
I can't believe it. There really is a snack tax. Goodness gracious.
The city of Westminster has they said we've never,
No, it's not. It's the state. Wait, is it the state? Is it it's a Colorado state tax. Wow. I've never. 2.9%.
No, that's Colorado's. That's their tax rate. 2.9 is our general sales tax rate.
Right. So then it must be in the 2.9 somewhere or something. Man, this is crazy.
Because they charge me food tax, they charge me sales tax, and then they charge me this SNKTX.
No,
tax.
but you understand the SNKTX stands for snack tax.
Yeah, but I wonder if Dollar Tree put that in.
No, I don't think so. But boy, wouldn't that be? No. I mean, Jamie looked it up. He actually sees it. It says here, why your bottle of water? Let's see. It says most technical term. They have it. I'm reading about it right here. So Colorado has a 2.9 sales tax. The technical term is blah blah blah. And then they said that there is a snack tax, and that's, by the way, it doesn't say. I'd have to read. I don't want to read live on the air, but there is some tax on there. But that's what it is, Kathleen. And I don't know why it's 25%. I don't know what was considered a snack. But thank you for bringing it up, because we will look into it. I mean, I'd love for you to snap a picture of it and send it to us. Suzanne, if you can help her get that for us, I would love to see that receipt, and then I'd like to look into it. Ernie, you said something. You said something about stem cells, and I want to make sure. Listen, I know that you're pretty proactive with certain wellness centers and things, and I believe one time, remember, we were pissed because I think you got ripped off by one of them. I don't know. Yeah, and that really bothered me. Because you
saved me probably $40,000.
Yeah, $45,000. I remember these people were ripping you off. And Ernie, didn't you have a serious illness recently?
Well, when I was going to this guy, it was supposed to have been for cancer treatment.
Okay, what about your
cancer? I got that taken care of, and I went into a regular surgery, and June 1st, they announced me cancer-free. So I don't know, my cancer was taken away.
No, Ernie, here's what I think. You want to hear? I think that center told you had cancer and you didn't have it, and they were ripping you off for $60,000 when we got involved. That's what I think happened. I swear to God, and I'd like to go after him still. But I believe you. I believe this was a massive ripoff, and we just happened to find out about it. But I want to know this.
Let me answer that. When I first went to the doctor, I was having bleeding spells about every 5 years, and they went in with a camera into my bladder, and the guy, I had changed urologist, and this guy is out at the hospital way out in Denver Tech.
Okay.
And then I went to him because I was having prostate problems as well, and long story short, he was supposedly have a new process to eliminate the prostate problem, and so what he told me was, he says, I'm going to give you a full exam. So he went in to my bladder with a camera, and he said, oh, I know where the bleeding came from. He says, you have a tumor in your bladder, and then he.
All right, hold on, Ernie. I got to come back to you. I want to make sure you're not getting ripped off with this new thing at this new wellness center.
Okay, green jeans is there. We got to change it. Okay, I got it. I can do a 30 unless you don't. Oh no, you're paying for it. Never mind.
It would be unlikely that someone would say you have a tumor without there being a tumor. That would be, his license would be suspended immediately.
What's that?
If he said
if somebody complained about it.
Well, it would be pretty unethical. I can't imagine.
Oh hell yeah! I know a doctor. Okay, I knew a doctor. Let's talk about the affordable way to get a mortgage, affordable interest mortgage. Now I say affordable. What I mean is this. He's got so many different things. You'll find one most affordable for you. He has basic conventional loans, jumbo loans, FHA, VA loans, the liquid loan, and you have ultimate service with Kurt Rogers at aimortgage.net. That stands for Affordable Interest Mortgage. I've known him for many, many years, I think 30 years or more. And what you get at Affordable Interest Mortgage is, first of all, great service. Of course, you always get the best loans, because he's not going to put you in a loan unless he thinks it will help you. On the site, he's got plenty of things to help you. Renting versus buying analysis. People right now are thinking about buying, and they might be renting, and now might be the chance. You can actually start your application process, and then when you're in the loan process, there's an online portal to see the status of your loan app and to get updates. Now, of course, you also hear me talk about the asset manager loan, which is the liquid loan. It's a line of credit that you can pay up and down at will, and there's no prepayment penalties, and you can use it to get rid of high interest debt and then pay it off quickly, or you can use it for emergencies. It's a great loan, and you get credit for every penny you have in the bank against the balance of that loan. Find out more, 720-895-0500, 720-895-0500.
You know, I bet you've had your air conditioner on now. We've had a couple days in the 90s. These guys at 888 Heating, they do something that is unbelievable, and I hate to even say this these days, but if you have a problem with that AC, maybe it's making noise, maybe it's not blowing as cold as it did last year, they will actually come out and give you an estimate to fix it. I don't care if it's 10, 15, 20 years old. They're going to give you a price to fix it. They're not going to try to cram a new system down your throat. They're great people, and if you ever do need a new system, they've got some of the best specials out there running right now. 888heating.com is their website, and their phone number is the same thing, 888 Heating. Give them a call. Any problems, new repairs, these are your guys. 888heating.com.
I had a guy call up looking for help on his window air conditioner. Now, on that, I gave him the appliance, right?
It's easy money.
Yeah,
Jeez, I don't even know.
That's what I gave him. I gave him ZZ's there.
I bet when those get old...
it's only like 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think an HVAC...
I wonder if they use R22. I wonder what those use. Probably the same gas.
But they do cooling. I mean, they do refrigerators. I assume refrigerators have the same gas as
I don't know.
AC.
That's a good question, man.
It's a great question.
I would assume they all use the same form of Freon now.
Yeah, they have to. Unless they retro. You're allowed to service the old ones.
Well, yeah, but then they fade them out like R12. I don't think you're even allowed to handle it.
But you can...
Or sell it. I don't know.
You can switch over, though, right? You can switch over the Freon, the type of Freon in it, right?
In cars you can. You can get a kit.
And
I don't know
it's just the oil.
refrigerator.
I think they got to put a special...
No. Some of the newer stuff can be a lot finer. There's different things you got to switch out.
Okay.
In a car, at least.
Okay. Well, I would assume it's all over.
So
it's not a lot of stuff, though, in a car.
Soda is not that exempt from grocery tax. That's the reason why they add that separate tax item back onto it.
What's that?
The snack tax there.
Isn't that weird? We have a snack tax.
Well,
she must have bought.
They don't treat it as an exempt grocery,
Right.
so they don't pay tax on groceries.
I wonder if they allow
edible, but not.
You think if you're on food stamps, you can buy that stuff then?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there was a.
But she said she got 25 cents and it's 2.9. So she
No, 2.9 is.
Huh?
On $9.
But she said she only bought $1 worth of snacks. I thought.
She might not know what's classified as a
Yeah.
snack. One thing I read said, anything with sugar, basically.
Well, cereal would
about
be
everything in the world.
Would be exempt. So.
Even if it's like Frosted Flakes, you think so?
Yeah, it's considered a grocery.
Yeah, because it's good for you.
Yeah, sugared cereal.
or orange
Pour
juice.
some milk on a Snickers bar.
Orange juice would be the same thing, right? Tons of sugar.
Yeah, a lot of tons of sugar.
What?
Orange juice.
Oh my God, it's all sugar.
Oh, juice is really bad. I don't do juice.
Well, look what Coke is. You know, there's 42 grams of sugar in a can of Coke. It's ridiculous.
Wasn't it New York City that said they couldn't sell a drink larger than like 48 ounces or something?
Which was that was Bloomberg's ego trip. How much salt you can put? You can't put salt shakers on the table. You can't sell giant-sized drinks.
No salt shakers on that? See,
that's what Bloomberg wanted to do. He was the original, Big Daddy. I know what's best for you.
Winds upward about 20 miles per hour.
Now is the time to get into job.
Everybody says, well, juices are much more nutritious than sodas. They often take shots of the government to tell you what.
Oh, easily. That's why some of those wellers are bullshit. Because juice they can buy.
12 ounce glass of orange juice.
That's like common shit now.
Yeah.
We will never go back.
10 teaspoons of sugar.
But at least it's got better stuff for you.
What's on there? Coke?
Orange juice.
Oh, yeah.
Say almost.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget Compass Insurance Group, home of the insurance checkup, 303-996-9000. If you do an insurance checkup every 2 years, you're going to make sure you don't get that old creep up syndrome where your premiums creep up, often your coverage creeps down. It's really important that you do insurance checkups because you need a company that's independent like Compass. They check 25 different companies to confirm you have a great deal or to get you good deals. And it's free, the insurance checkup. So get it, 303-996-9000.
Hey, did Compass reshop you when your kid got her license? Because, man, talk about big dollars.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty well. I don't know why, but it's not that expensive with my daughter.
That's good.
Added. I mean, there was a little more, but, you know.
It's a daughter, not a son.
Yeah, sons are more for sure.
Well, oh, my goodness.
Big difference.
Does it matter what they identify as? Would that matter with the insurance?
You know what? I'm
dead serious. I'm dead serious. I wasn't kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if gender identification falls into the actuarials. Anyway, Bill, you say you know what that tax is. Go ahead.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Yes, it's a sugar tax. I started seeing it about 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
And Dollar Store probably uses the snack reference so that they shovel that money out to the state where it belongs. King Super's been doing it for a long time. If you get a candy bar, which is all sugar, if you get a Coke, it's just all sugar. It's a sugar tax.
Wow.
How about orange juice, which has basically as much as sugar as Coca-Cola?
So does a pound of spaghetti, but they're not talking about that.
After I decided to leave it alone and not get upset about it, I didn't pay any attention. But you can figure out which ones that tax is going to be on.
Okay.
Snack tax.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, Ernie, I want to go up to today. You said you're going to a wellness center right now, and you had some stem cell questions. Go ahead, Ernie.
Well, they said that they were using amniotic sales.
Okay, that's not stem cell therapy. Okay, amniotic fluid is taken from someone, and then it's transported to you. And unless you're in the delivery room and you get it right there, it's not going to be living stem cells. That's just a fact. And it won't be as effective as real living stem cells. So if they told you it's stem cells, they're lying to you.
That's what I wanted to find out, because I know that was your position a couple of years back.
If you want true stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz.
And they'll give you the straight story, too, man. If they don't think it's for you, they're going to tell you.
Those are true stem cell. Now, by the way, in many cases where people believe they need stem cells, they don't. They can sometimes get by with platelet, what is it called? The rich PRP, thank you, which is platelet-rich plasma. So, Ernie, what is the condition you are you're trying to treat?
Well, I just got this neuropathy. My legs ache, and my legs from the knee down.
Stem cell may not help that much. It might. It depends on where it's coming from. I would go to Colorado Pain Care for your pain like that. Honest to God, I would go to Colorado Pain Care. They will look into any kind of treatment that would work, and they're good people. Colorado Pain Care. That's right. That's where I go. ColoradoPainCare.com, and it's 866, right? 866 got pain. I want to make sure I give you that. Or is it, hold on, I'm sorry that I should, it's 303 got pain. I'm sorry, 303 got pain. Now Ernie, I want to ask, got pain. We'll give you that off the air. Ernie, I need to ask you another question. What else is this wellness center trying to sell you? I care about you. I don't want you to fall prey to this stuff. What else are they peddling?
Well, they just said they're treating neuropathy, and they're using the antibiotic stem cells because they bring them in frozen.
Yeah, but they're listen. You can tell them that I'll bet them $10,000 that they will not find a substantial amount of living stem cells in their amniotic fluid. They might find one or two. I remember this one stem cell clinic was bragging about living stem cells, and I said, you're not going to find any. They came back with a report and said, you're wrong. They found two, literally two living stem cells. Now, you need millions You need millions.
What neuropathy? Explain that to me.
Neuropathy is the closing down of your circulation due to restricted blood vessels. It can happen from inflammation. It can happen from something called glycation, which is
it usually caused by diabetes?
Too much sugar. It's caused by inflammation, or diabetes causes inflammation only if it's untreated. Diabetes in and of itself does not cause anything. Untreated diabetes causes the problem. Diabetes simply means your pancreas isn't fighting the blood sugar, right?
So how do they generally help people with neuropathy?
Well, with neuropathy,
because we've talked about the lasers.
First, you stay on your diet, okay? I mean, really, if you have neuropathy and you have diabetes, or not diabetes, you have neuropathy, you're doing something wrong, right, Jamie? You're Dr. Baumgarten. You're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you're out of balance.
Yeah, and it's mostly inflammation. So you reduce inflammation by reducing sugar and increasing activity. So exercise and reducing sugar. Now, things that promote circulation would be good, like CoQ10 and other supplements. Yeah, you can do that too.
I'll take that.
Yeah, good. So Ernie, though, what you really want is a good all-around doctor. And I really don't know how much money you have to spend, and I'm not searching. But what I'm asking is, if you're really serious about wellness, I go to a wellness clinic. I pay a monthly fee for concierge service, and I basically get blood tests every 3 months. I get treatments whenever I need them for whatever I need. They include supplements. They include medication. Everything is one price. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm not paid if you do it. I'm not getting a finder's fee. I'm just suggesting sometimes that's more efficient than just going to all these different places. I go to a wellness clinic where it promotes wellness and it's proactive care. That's what it is. However, if you're going just for pain, Colorado Pain Care would be a great place for you to start for your neuropathy pain, okay?
All right.
But for long-term solutions, Colorado Pain Care will help you with that. 303-GOT-PAIN. Give that to him, Suzanne. It'll help you with that. But it's not going to do the long-range planning for you on that, okay? I mean, that's not what they do. They get you out of pain, get your life back. And then they'll suggest maybe physical therapy, but they're also going to say you might want to see a doctor about nutrition, or you might want to do this, you might want to do that. They don't pretend to be all things to all people. They're great at what they do. And again, I like wellness care, okay? It's a new thing. It's a new thing in life, wellness care. And you add to that functional medicine, and you have what medicine should be. In America, medicine has become acute care. You wait for something to break or to hurt, and then you treat it, as opposed to wellness care, where you try to prevent the breaking or the hurting.
Station available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music radio.
But no, neuropathy is basically pain.
We have to talk about the
inflammation of nerves.
Couldn't they just deaden the nerve then? Call it a whole.
Well, no. Neuropathy is not one nerve. Neuropathy is a circulation thing, not a nerve thing. Well, I know it's called neuropathy,
but you wind up at the ear where your spine is. So the dorsal ganglia where your spine is. So you get shooting pains in your legs.
Well, that's different, though.
That's a neuropathy.
I know, but but there's a neuropathy caused. Some people call that neuropathy, and I know what you're saying, but there's a neuropathy caused by a lack of circulation. Then there's impingement. Impingement is totally different.
But neuropathy is the end result is pain caused by inflammation
or he talked about impingement
or the nerves. But you're talking about. The cause of it is what you're talking about.
Not the impingement. That's not
circulation or impingement causes nerve pain. Nerve pain is neuropathy.
What were you going to say? So it's not nerve pain or impingement. It's the dorsal ganglia that sits here. If there's an inappropriate.
Let's talk about Mile High Estate Planning, which is now BlakeHarrisLaw.com for estate planning. Estate planning is one of the most important things you can do in your life because it not only protects you while you're alive from creditors, from lawsuits, from unnecessary pain and misery, it also can protect your heirs, it protects your assets, and it protects you with medical directives and all of that. So a well-established and thought-out estate plan is important. In fact, one of the most important things is this thing called a long-term care trust. When you get into long-term care and you might need to use a little Medicare and a little Medicaid even in life, there's no reason for that to eat through every single bit of savings you had the rest of your life, where one spouse now lives in poverty. So he has a special trust made for that, to keep you from really going broke when you need long-term care. MileHighEstatePlanning.com is now BlakeHarrisLaw.com. You can ask any question you want, flat rate pricing on what he does for you, so you're not nickeled and dimed for every question you ask. 833-ASK-BLAKE, 833-ASK-BLAKE. Now, you just heard me talk to Ernie about Colorado Pain Care, so I don't have to belabor that. They get rid of pain. Now, what they do are a number of different modalities, so you don't have to worry about that. They are people of action, and they know what to do. And then they end with physical therapy, some of the best in the world. I mean, they have great physical therapists. They have given me things to do on my own where I hardly have to see them anymore. And it's making progress, permanent progress. That's what counts. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I want to emphasize three major things here. First, he has a team to help you buy stuff. If you're buying properties, there's a team just to help you buy and negotiate, which is totally different than the selling side. He has a team for that. And of course, he oversees everything. Now, if you want to sell and list, he has a team for that. Then the other thing is the free market valuation of your home based on his 26 years of experience. 303-920-1622. 920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Hey, Tom, you're talking about the etiology of neuropathy.
I think I misunderstood him on what he was talking about, so can you finish that?
Oh, that's fine.
Am I right? He's talking about the etiology of it, and I think neuropathy
I understand.
is defined as, what you're talking about is what causes neuropathy.
But I want you to tell me what you were talking about with those nerves.
So that the dorsal ganglia, you need to wind up an inappropriate signal. So you need to dampen that down as well as the cause that you're actually seeing at the source of injury.
What causes the winding of the nerves there?
It's
or the ganglia? What?
So you're right. It's a glycosylated hemoglobin that actually causes leaky blood vessels.
So it is a lack of circulation.
Lack of circulation starts it, and then your body is used to sending a signal to say repair that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then you get a constant feedback loop right here at your spine, back down to your legs. Okay. Right. So you got to treat the source of injury, get a wind down in terms of what the dorsal ganglia is telling your brain.
But circulation is the key.
Circulation is the key. Because
inflammation causes all that bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so you can deaden the nerve though to get rid of neuropathy.
No, I'm telling you, you'll get it somewhere else.
It's more of a global effect. It's not just that one nerve. It's not like your tooth where you can deaden that.
Or your SI joint. If your SI
someone
joint
gets it really bad in their foot or wherever people get it.
Okay. If it was that localized, normally neuropathy is not that localized. Okay. Sciatica is. Now, with a sciatic nerve, you can deaden a nerve. But with neuropathy, let's say you did deaden one nerve that happened to be bothering you.
It would go somewhere else.
Exactly, it would, because where the source of it is goes everywhere. And it just happens to show up somewhere. Neuropathy is terrible because you can't say, doctor, it hurts here. It's just terrible. I mean, it's a lot. And sometimes people feel pins and needles, and they feel it's, you know.
Well, it's also difficult to differentiate the sensory from the motor neurons. So if you deaden everything, you can deaden the pain.
Yeah,
but you also deaden your ability.
Yeah, but really good doctors now. I mean, they have it down to a fucking science where they do nerve blocks. I mean.
So what he's talking about is more like fibromyalgia. You know, so he's got pain all over his lower legs. Right? So it's not going to be one nerve you could actually hit on, but actually everything. Pretty nuts.
Well, you know, when he calls in, he's called in a few times like this, and you could just tell he's so frustrated with the pain that he lives with. He's willing to do anything. He's willing to listen to
anything. If he calls back in, let us know, get his address, we'll send him some CBD, some topical, and some baths. It'll help.
Does a topical really does it get through just mucus tissue or through, I mean, if you put topical on, does it get through skin?
That's
No,
what I
it
was
only
trying
goes,
to ask, yeah.
it only goes through.
So that
does it
headline
marks
marks
all going through mucosa?
4 million people.
I swear to God, let me look here. Let me find it.
I seen the 9.3 million jobs sold, but 4 million people quit.
Right.
Well, you know, because they're not offering bonuses.
Really?
But the thing is, if you really want, higher levels of, material in your plasma, you can take it all.
Yeah, right. That's. This country just.
This country?
Now listen, does this make sense to you? They're all in masks, and she's not. And then they're all vaccinated. So what the fuck message are they sending?
So I was in Costco last night. 75% of people still have masks.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. I don't have to shave.
Well, what Costco? It all depends what Costco you're in.
Well, you don't have to wear a mask.
No, he said which one. Like in Parker, they don't have them.
Lone Tree.
Yeah, Parker doesn't have.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter,
713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Martin, I'm so sorry you had to wait, but, man, I had to take other calls. You took the first hour of the show. We love entrepreneurs. We want to help entrepreneurs. Bottom line is you have an invention. I think it's a wonderful invention. As I said before, the main problem is going to be finding people willing to pay for it at the user end. I don't want to repeat all that. But what it is an automatic cinching system that keeps a certain tension on the load with straps, and it automatically ratchets up when it needs to. Okay, so without getting into too much technical detail, you sent me some reports. What were you hoping I'd see in these reports, sir?
Oh, no, I was just wanting to let you know that you've mentioned a few times about cost effectiveness and things of that nature, and I was just trying to let you know that the initial reports on all that were already done.
Yeah, but the initial reports say nothing about end users.
So you're talking about the cost effectiveness.
Oh, cost effectiveness. We won't know. We won't know the cost effectiveness until we know how much it will how much it will sell for. So you tell me, rather than me sifting through this while I'm on the air, how much have you gotten it down to per unit?
Well, it's the actual numbers right now are still in the preliminaries, but the bottom line on that was that the preliminary reports show that the item can be sold for approximately 4 times the cost of production, which means it's a 4-to-1 ratio.
See, that is impossible to determine with what you've shown me. How do you say something is going? If you don't know what the cost of production is, how do you know it will sell for 4 times the cost of production?
Because they went to the industry specialist on this, and that's where they pulled up all the figures.
Well, you know what? You got to fire this company that you hired. Martin, you have to find an end user willing to pay 4 times the cost of production. You haven't even identified your end user except for some hazy notion of people who own trailers. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, man. You're going to listen because life is going to teach you. Whether you listen to me or not, you're going to find it out. When you go into the open market, you're going to find out you're not going to have investors, because the first thing they're going to ask is, who are you going to sell it for how much, and how do you know they're going to buy it? Go on Shark Tank. Have you tried Shark? I'd like you to go on Shark Tank and hear what those guys would tell you.
They buy
it.
businesses, though.
What's that?
They buy businesses.
Well, they have startups like this all the time. What's that?
They actually... The Shark Tank is mainly on the people who've already running.
Yeah, you would have to be farther advanced. That's true. It wouldn't have to be. Yeah, you'd have to be farther advanced. But here's the point, man. I'm just saying, you have not yet identified the major meat of your market, where the biggest chunk of your market is. You say the trucking industry. That is an industry. That is not a customer. Like, for example, will it be Amazon, people who own and operate? I would say it has to be people who own and operate their own trailers. It has to be. If you don't get that, you're never going to get an individual trailer guy to invest in it, nor an individual driver, nor an individual hauler. They're not going to do it because it does nothing for the shipper who ultimately pays the bill. Doesn't this make sense to you, Martin? I know you're blinded by optimism, and you should be to a certain extent, but you have to hear what I'm saying.
Oh, I absolutely do hear what you're saying.
I want to hear what this guy has to say. Kevin, what do you have to say? Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, Tom. Hey, you're missing the bigger picture. This guy's onto it. If he can get that to market, insurance companies are going to require flatbed companies to have those, because when that load falls off, the insurance has to pay for the load and the damage to
all right, Kevin, then here's what he would have to do.
If he can get that going, that's going to be a home run.
Okay, if Kevin, you are making my point. He has to do research, and he has to see how many loads are lost, how many result in damage, how is it? Is it a high percentage? Is it a low percentage? Is it a high enough percentage that insurance companies would require it? That would be a great route. If insurance companies said, you need to do this latest safety enhancement on your trailers, then you would have something. There is no dispute. But I don't know, Kevin. I don't know the industry. Is that a big number?
Yeah, it is. That's a huge number. You lose a load of flatbed.
What percentage of goods shipped in America on flatbed trailers are lost due to cinching, breaking, or loosening?
It's the possibility of a loss.
See, everybody's taking shots with no knowledge. I want to know the percentage. You don't know. Okay? It could be great. As you say, Kevin, it could be a gold mine. Don't say I'm missing the point. I'm not missing the point. I'm telling him to find the end user. You're finding a reason for the end user. That's good. The insurance industry. Now tell me, what percentage of loads on trailers are destroyed due to improper latching or ratcheting? Suzanne.
Somebody suggested the military might be an end user.
They might be the airlines might be an end user. Listen, there may be a lot of end users, but unless you interview them and you see what they're willing to do, you cannot go to investors with a hope and a prayer. Don't ever go to an investor hoping for them to be your hope and prayer. They're going to be no's. They're going to be tell me whys and no's. And you have to get good at blowing no's. Okay? That's what you have to get good at. Blowing no's. Mark, did you see anything? Did you Google broken loads or?
I tried. I don't see any stats like that.
We got to find, talk to insurance companies, shippers, cargo shippers. What I'm saying is, I hope you hear me. You don't hear me saying this won't work. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. I am saying I don't know if it will work. You have to do the research to convince me so I will invest. Investors don't convince themselves. Investors' job is to say no. Your job is to turn that into a yes. It is a fact of life.
I think insurance companies or government.
Well, we can say, I know. That's what I'm getting at. They keep coming up, well, it could be this, and it could be that.
Way back when, 60 years ago, when I don't know if you remember, the slow moving vehicles sign came out, governments pushed that. Remember the little triangle thing with orange and stuff, like tractors have it. I'm from a farm, so we had to put it all over.
Oh, yeah, slow moving vehicle.
Yeah, this little triangle thing is. When that come in, my brother actually got it. And used that as a high school project for making money.
So there's 9.3.
I looked at that percentage.
No, 9.3 new positions.
Now is the time to get a new job. Express Employment
Or
Provider.
9.3 million.
9.3 new positions, is that like Kama Sutra positions? Or
Yeah. No, 9.3 jobs open.
for what? 3 million.
So I love Zero Res carpet cleaning because Zero Res gets my carpets cleaned without residue. Isn't that simple? What I mean is they have empowered water that's packed it. It has something to do with being super soft and alkaline, I think, but here, who cares? If it works, I use it, and it works. My carpets look like new, and they stay clean longer, and they dry faster, all because of their process. They also do tile and grout and upholstery. ZeroResDenver.com is the company, 303-471-5150. And you know how some houses, after you get your carpets cleaned, there's a little mist or smell in the air? This never happens with Zero Res. That's why I love how fresh and clean my carpets get. You can get them per room. You can get them for traffic areas. You can get them for the whole house. And that is ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150. That's 303-471-5150. And what about air conditioning? How's that for a transition? No, I'm serious. I, again, went through the night without any air conditioning. And I'm not kidding. I swear to you, we turn on that whole house fan. That's QCColorado.com. I turn it on at about 8 in the evening, and maybe 9, and keep it on all night. In fact, I have to turn it down or turn it off at about, I'd say 4 in the morning. It gets so cool. You know, Colorado is uniquely suited for QCColorado.com, the quiet, cool comfort. You get it installed in less than 2 hours, and it's remote controlled, so you don't have to dig into walls for wiring. And I've been saving now. This is my 3rd season, and I've not used air conditioning at all. In the past 2 seasons, I've used my air conditioning about 10% of the time, which translates to 90% savings. That's a true story from someone who has 2 systems. 303-800-3419. 303-800-3419. QCColorado.com.
All right, check it out if you do want AC and yours is broken. The guys at 888heating.com will come out. They'll give you an estimate to fix it. They're straight shooters. They're not going to try to twist your arm into buying a new system. On top of that, if you do need a new system, they got the best prices out there. In fact, I'll tell you one special's going on. You get a new furnace, you get a new air conditioner, you get a whole house humidifier, you get 5 years no interest, all of it starting at $8,500. You can't beat it. The best prices, the best service. 888heating.com. Their phone number is easy too. 888-HEATING.
Mark, read these reports. They're the most horseshit thing you've ever seen. It's like...
You mean what the guy paid for?
Yeah, what the reports say. This guy's getting ripped. They are stroking...
He doesn't understand that.
They're stroking his yummy. And he thinks he's...
And the more you tell him that they're ripping him off, the more he's...
They are totally ripping him. Oh, my God.
Our reports show this could be the next billion-dollar deal.
He's got a cartoon. Oh, it looks so
I wonder if they sold him the cartoon. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Well, of course they did. They did all of this.
Yes.
No, you really think that was part of the deal?
Yeah.
I bet you it's all one.
I'll guarantee you this is all one.
And then that just brings him further and further.
I mentioned they set up the whole website and everything.
Every millions of trucks travel billions. See all this general bullshit.
I just don't think you're going to.
Miles carrying tons of goods.
You're going to compete
despite its tried and true president over the years.
Well, like I say, the first thing they should have done is a search. An actual
cargo ships, then it fails, and then it breaks. What percentage? Do you think they should put that in there? Like,
of course, yeah.
God almighty.
So there is a percentage of truck accidents with flipped over loads. There is that in there.
Yeah, you would have to break down ones that
I'll bet you, I
nothing to
wonder
do
if
with
actually,
accidents.
let's say the incident is so rare, but let's say, what would they do? I mean, what percentage of loads on trail?
When you say that, that's gonna be so minuscule. Percentage of loads.
Or what's the dollar insurance payouts for those type of,
Right.
Yeah, and then, but even beyond what you just said, then what would this device cut that down by, and how?
Well, just the, I don't know, I think even the promise of cutting it down might be, if it was a big enough problem.
What I'm saying is if most loads that are due to a strap or cargo shipping or a strap breaking, I mean, unless he's got a new strap, whether it does it automatically or not, you're still going to have straps that break. He's not inventing a new strap.
He won't solve the strap breaking problem unless the strap breaking is due to
That's what it is. Shifting of the load.
a loosening of a load.
Right, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's when the loosens now it's momentum.
Cargo detention hardware, locks, ratcheting systems. It goes into like accident specific. Unfortunately, it's not going into percentage.
Did you ever see the video of that 747 that crashed in
There's a lot of personal injury
Iraq?
attorneys.
No, it was an Air Force 747
Trucks that
took
lose
off,
their load.
load shifted,
They'll
and
go
it was
after
about
that. It wasn't
2 minutes into the flight, and it just crashed. Because the load was secured properly, and it was about 2 minutes into the flight. 747.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, Bennett.
Hey, I did find something interesting on
Bennett,
this whole
hold on
cargo.
1 sec. Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to this, man. According to a 3-year study conducted by AAA between 2011-14, more than 200,000 accidents were caused by loose cargo or debris falling from trucks.
That's good. That's a good statistic. He has to build on that. He has to go to insurance carriers to see if this is something that they would give discounts on insurance for if that worked, or demand it. I mean, you got to go down the path, and you have to have an end user who's willing to spend the money. I can't say that enough. Now, by the way, what is the deal on Real CBD? I got to get to that. I'm sorry, Bennett. Hold on 1 sec. What do we have for realcbdthatworks.com? What do they put in the promo code?
Yeah, Pet Love 40.
What, Pet?
Pet Love 40.
Is that singular, Pet Love?
Correct.
Okay.
For 40% off of all pet products, and it's specifically important because as we get towards 4th of July, dogs actually freak out with fireworks.
How long is that going to be?
Through June 30th.
Okay, I'm going to remember to do that in our other commercials then. Pet Love 40 for 40% off all pet products. Suzanne, I'm so sorry about Bennett, but I promise to bring him up first tomorrow. We had a very busy day. Thanks to realcbdthatworks.com. They were here answering many good issues about CBD. realcbdthatworks.com. If you use the code PETLOVE40, 40% off pet products.
Follow Tom Martino.
Well, you had it easy today. Quiet on the calls. I'm going to put this away.
Well, except for that PJ.
Bye all.
What's that, bro?
Buy all.
Buy all.
I hate when I come off like I'm gashing someone's tree.
No, but he is getting ripped off by that product.